Blog Talk Radio.
2017. Big Truth. The big talk for you. What up? Shout out Alvo King. Big Boo. Me. Shout out everybody. Check it. Hey yo, debate talk 4. You so you can absorb. Information free of charge so you can afford. Get poppin'. Live off the greatest doctrine. Sip the juice, know the ledge like the great Rakim. On a mission, not a small time thing. Defense biblical, offense got the haters watching. Hands are skill, footwork is ill. Get in the den, see if you can stand for real. If you rep Kim and Cool, yo, I rep Israel. If you Torah based only or new as well, welcome to listen. Style always fair decision. Two sides come together to compare what's written. Seeking the facts, seeking the maps, teaching the acts, leaking the tracks. Call while you eating your snacks. Music in my bones, DNA, C-double-E and K. Little something for the showtime, you can play. One love, one love, one love.
Radio.
Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Achad. Shalom, this is Brother Jason of the Hand of Yah Ministries, where the name of Yahuwah is proclaimed. And I want to thank Sal Showtime for allowing the Heavenly Father to use him and his show, Debate Talk for You, as a meeting place for people around the world to hear scriptural truth. If this show has been a blessing in your life as it has been in mine, send a donation to the ministry and support the work. Keep up the good work, Sal, and may Yahuwah bless us all.
Peace and blessings to everyone that's listening. This is Moreh Yakel, the mighty Hebrew, Lion of Judah with Campaign for Biblical Literacy Ministries, walking in the way of my forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, observing the Torah, slaying devils, and manifesting the blessing of the Most High. Come by, pay us a visit by going to my website at www.campaignforbiblicalliteracy.com and by going to my YouTube channel at Campaign for Biblical Literacy Ministries. Shalom.
Blessed be our Father God and His Son Jesus Christ. This is your beloved brother LeVar, co-teacher at Absolute Bible Truth Ministries, and I'm taking this tremendous opportunity that Brother Sal has given me to invite you guys out there listening to the Absolute Bible Truth broadcast on Blog Talk Radio. If you are out there and you have been searching for biblical truth, or you want answers to your questions, you can catch us every Saturday, the weekly Sabbath day our Father has given us. We begin our teaching in between 4 and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call in by dialing 319-527-6197. Again, call in by dialing 319-527-6197. Our lead teacher, Brother Josh, serves us up a meal, and I promise you, if you have a hunger for understanding the Word, you will get full. Also, like our Facebook page, which is the title of our ministry, Absolute Bible Truth, all one word. In addition to that, check out our website, AbsoluteBibleTruth.com, for other study material and online classes. Absolute Bible Truth is a congregation who focuses on the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth concerning the Word of God, while leaving out all personal opinion, speculation, and belief. Thank you.
You don't want to miss checking out the most controversial video of the year. Everybody's talking about it. A video produced by Absolute Bible Truth teacher, Brother Josh. The video is entitled, Is There a Secret Gay Agenda Amongst the Comedic Conscious Groups? Once again, it's one of the most talked about videos right now, and you want to make sure you go check it out. So go to the website, www.absolutebibletruth.com/store. And once you get it, it's an automatic download. You don't have to wait for it to be sent to you in the mail. It's an automatic download. So once again, go check out the video, get it fast, and get it now.
Don't touch that dial. You're now listening to Debate Talk Radio.
Peace and shalom. This is Imuna Yisrael from the Sunshine State, and I am tuned into Debate Talk for You, the place where you can get intellectual exchange with no profanity. I love it. One.
This is Ronald Francoeur representing from Atlanta, Georgia. And when I'm not busy in the studio, I'm checking out Debate Talk for You Radio. Keep up the great work, Sal Showtime.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to another show. You're now listening to Season 7 of Debate Talk for You Radio. I'm your host, Sal Showtime, and we are back with another classic show for you guys. Well, once again, we are back, and I see a lot of people on the switchboard, and we definitely appreciate the listeners out there for calling in 5 minutes, 10 minutes ahead of time. People calling in via phone and via Skype. We definitely appreciate the listeners out there all across the globe, the international listeners overseas, and, of course, everybody on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that's checking out the show. Today's show is entitled Untold Truth About the Police Cop Conspiracy Smear Campaign. Once again, today's show is entitled Untold Truth About the Police Cop Conspiracy Smear Campaign. I know y'all wondering, like, what kind of topic is this? You know, what direction are the special guests going to go when it comes to this particular topic? You know, stand by, because, you know, we have Brother Josh and Minister Aundrey here tonight on Debate Talk Radio. So, like I always say, get your pen and pads ready. Take down your notes, and as always, feel free to call in if you got a question or a comment. By dialing that number, 319-527-6239. So, without further ado, let me introduce my special guests. Like I said, we have Brother Josh and Mr. Aundrey on the phone lines. Welcome to the show.
I want to say, first and foremost, greetings to you, Sal. Thank you for having me on. It's been a while since I've been back on the show. And I want to say greetings to my esteemed brother, not only in the Most High, but also a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, my brother Josh. I want to say greetings to the Debate Talk for your audience out there. It's been a long time since I've been before you guys. I'm excited to be here tonight. All praise to the Most High that we're alive and well today. A new day, going into another day. And it's a blessing for all of us that are here right now, able to breathe the birth of life and continue to press toward the mark of the high calling. I want to say that you guys can be doing other things right now in your lives, but you're here tonight, those of you that are here early, to hear a powerful message that me and this brother, as no other, can bring it together. All glory to the Most High. So I want to say, fasten your seat belts, as I always say, because you are in for a treat and a ride along with the Most High and to find out about the conspiracy and the smear campaign about police. Thank you. Hello.
And we also have Brother Josh from ABT on the line. Say hello to the people.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Sal. Shabbat Shalom, everybody in the Debate Talk for You universe. And, of course, a very big shalom to my illustrious brother, Minister Aundrey. I feel blessed and privileged to be able to present this very important study with him tonight. I also feel blessed that, you know, it's no secret. I'm not ashamed to admit it that at one time me and this brother were at odds with each other. And now that we are here together again, you know, brothers in the Most High, brothers in the Messiah, and we're here to present this word to you and to try to get to the bottom of this smear campaign against cops and the conspiracy for people to try to view them in a negative way. I actually reached out to this brother, and I asked him to do this class with me. You're going to figure out why I specifically reached out to him, One of the reasons being that nobody else, in my opinion, and you're going to see why, who I know, can help me deliver this message in the manner that it needs to be delivered in. So as the brother said, fasten your seatbelt, strap yourself in, and get prepared to be edified in the name of the Most High. Thank you.
All right, people. I see we have more people calling into the show. By the way, the chat room is officially open. Family, the chat room is officially open. And, of course, if you're on social media, share this on your personal page. Let people know that Debate Talk for You is live and on the air. And, of course, make sure you attach that number. We welcome people to call in. Only rule that we ask is that when you call in, you got to keep it clean, keep it professional, no foul language. Believe it or not, we have people listening with the kids and even the elderly. All right, so, Brother Josh, and Mr. Aundrey, take it away.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you again, my brother Josh. Coming together again in the name of the Most High, two walking together, agreed on one accord. First and foremost, before we get into the class, I want to give everybody my credentials in regards to being a deputy sheriff, working inside of a jail, two jails, City of Atlanta jail, and also in DeKalb County jail. As a basic jail, I started in the year 2000. In the year 2000, I started in the City of Atlanta Detention Center. In 2003, I moved to the DeKalb County Jail on Memorial Drive in Stone Mountain, Georgia. You can see it from the expressway because it's huge. It's the biggest jail in the Southeast region. Mm-hmm. It houses approximately 3,200 inmates in that facility. In 2007, after working inside of the jail, on every floor in the jail, mostly maximum security with the murderers, the rapists, the armed robbers, the thieves, any level of offense that you can think of, I have dealt with them in the DeKalb County Jail. Also in the City of Atlanta Jail mostly was city ordinances and those that was going to be bound over to what they call Rice Street or Fulton County Jail. So any high-profile case that you've seen, if it was worldwide news where DeKalb County is concerned, if they came inside the DeKalb County Jail from 2003 to 2007 and beyond, up until the time I retired, I have encountered them. I've dealt with demon-possessed individuals in jail, and we'll touch on that some in the class. I've dealt with individuals that have murdered their entire families, wife and kids. I've dealt with the Brian Nichols. I've dealt with you name it, I've dealt with. And in 2007, I went to mandate school. Mandate school is when you go to intensive training to become a certified peace. So not only am I a certified basic jailer, I'm also a mandated certified peace officer, meaning I had arrest powers after I completed mandate school, which was 10 weeks long of intense training, learning the law, going through scenarios, defensive tactics, you name it, we did it. From there, after I graduated mandate school, I was transferred to the DeKalb County Courthouse, where I worked in Superior Court, State Court, Magistrate Court, you name it, Probate Court, you name it, I worked it. Not only that, I was right before I retired, I got sick and had to retire. I was transferred to the transportation unit. The transportation unit is where we're the first ones there in the morning. We go to the DeKalb County Jail. We load all the inmates up on the buses, bring them over to the courthouse, and ready for their court appearances. And we're responsible for taking them back to the courthouse. So we're transporting lunatics. We're transporting high-profile murder individuals. We had transport people with waist belts and shock belts and all kinds of things. So tonight, as we get into this class, those of you who will be listening, I urge you, listen. Do not call into debate talk for you tonight with your emotions. Your emotions, your opinions, and things of that nature, sisters and brothers, you can keep to yourself. We're going to deal with the word. We're going to deal with reasoning. We're going to deal with the spirit of truth. And we're going to eliminate the spirit of error. So I ask you, I beseech you, to please not call in with emotional things that you got to say. If you're not aware of something, you can ask and we can address it. If you're calling in to be contentious and to be emotional, I'm just going to ignore you because I'm not coming to you from a person that heard the police or heard a story about the police. I am the police or the sheriff. And not only that, I grew up in the ghetto, and I was not always a productive citizen before I became a productive citizen. In other words, I've done things in my life. I didn't never go to jail, but I was not always an upstanding guy before my transformation. So I'm not coming to you guys with a biased from a biased standpoint. I'm going to come in straight down the middle because I've lived both sides. And so, with that being said, if you want to say anything, Josh, before we start, go ahead, my bro.
Yes, thank you, Aundrey. And as y'all can see, that this is the reason why I reached out to him to do this class. And don't worry, we got a lot of scripture for you. But this is the reason why I reached out to this brother is because, number one, I know his credentials, and I know that the man knows the law, and I know he knows what he's talking about. And number two, I came to him, and he was aware of this too. But there's a smear campaign, a conspiracy for a smear campaign for cops, mainly in the black community. And I noticed this when you especially look in the conscious community or if you look among the black Hebrews. Not all of them, just in case somebody might be listening. Oh, all black Hebrews don't feel that way. No, not all of them. But we all know that there's this negative view of the police in general, or calling the police, or thinking the police can be helpful. And it's a smear campaign being launched so that we as black people mainly, it happens to other races too, but black people mainly are viewing the police in a negative way only, and we want to look at the police like they're automatically the enemy. And just like any walk of life, you got good people and bad people in that walk of life. You know what I mean? So what we're trying to show you in this class tonight is that the ideal of being a police officer or a sheriff is rooted in the scriptures. This is not something that they came up with yesterday in America, or it's only a few hundred years old, or even a few thousand years old. We're going to show you that this goes all the way back to the scriptures, and the concept of being a police officer or a sheriff or whatever title you go by. This stuff originates from scripture, and anybody who has a problem with a police officer who is trying to do it the correct way, you sin. You are against the Most High. You are in error. As the brother said, you have the spirit of error on you. And we're going to show you from a professional standpoint. That's why I asked Minister DeAndre, because we can show you from a professional standpoint. We're going to show you from a civilian standpoint. That's where I come in at. And collectively, we're both going to show you from a scriptural standpoint how we can see that there is a cop conspiracy smear campaign, a conspiracy designed to make our people, specifically black people, view the police in a negative light and thus get us in trouble with the law and even put our lives at risk. I want people to understand that that's what we're trying to show you here tonight, that they want us to view the police as automatically the enemy so we can become hostile and we can become agitated and force them, the police, to react in a hostile way and thus endangering our lives and or freedom. So without further ado, Andre, if you got anything you want to open up with, let's get right into this so these people can know what time it is.
John, if you will, brother, could you look up the definition for the word sheriff?
No problem. And I'm going to be reading out my favorite dictionary, the Webster's New World Dictionary of the American Language, 1959 edition. It's my favorite because it's an old dictionary. Now, check out the definition of this word sheriff. Sheriff, the chief law enforcement officer of a country charged with the keeping of the peace and the execution of court orders.
Wow. He is the chief officer is executing what now?
With executing, he's charged with keeping the peace and the execution of court orders.
The peace and the executing of court orders. The sheriff is the highest ranking official in the county. There is no official, mayor, CEO, city councilman, superintendent, all those elected positions. Well, superintendent is not an elected position, but any elected official in the county. The sheriff is the highest ranking official in the county. The only person the sheriff has to answer to is the governor. But he said peace, to maintain the peace. Matthew 5, Brother Josh. Start at Matthew 5.
All right. And verse 9?
Matthew 5 and verse 9, please, sir.
Okay. Matthew 5 and verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Elohim, or God. Sister and brother, did you not see here that sheriff, deputy sheriff, police, troublemakers like the media is portraying, and like this conscious community is portraying? When you look on a police unit or a sheriff unit, you see to protect and serve. You also see serving with honor. Another word for serve is minister. Servant.
That's right.
So it can be ministering with honor. They're there to make peace. That's why they patrol the zones that you live in, or the wards you live in, or the boroughs you live in. That's why they patrol, because they're there to keep peace. And wherever there's chaos, confusion, breaking of the law, they are there to bring it law and order and to protect those innocent people from being hurt and protect you from hurting yourself or someone else. That's the job of a righteous officer.
So, Mr. DeAndre, let me ask you a question then, right? If the very definition of sheriff means somebody who is charged, that means he has been given the duty. That's what a charge is. If he is charged with keeping or maintaining the peace, then can we logically read Matthew 5 and 9 to say, blessed are the sheriffs, for they shall be called the children of God or of Elohim? Can we say that? Can we legitimately say that?
You can legitimately say that, brother. Blessed are the sheriffs. Exactly. Are the sheriffs, because they are peacemakers. You read the definition to you. This is not opinion. Yes, it can easily say, blessed are the sheriffs, for they shall be called the children of Elohim. Now, a police officer, a sheriff, a law enforcement officer, in John 15, Yahushua said, greater that no man laid out his life for his friend, right? Every time I done that police uniform with that vest and everything that goes with that uniform, every time an officer done that uniform, he's walking outside of his house or her house, and they're willing to lay down their lives for the community, their friends. Because guess what? I remember when I went to school as a kid, we had a day. Josh probably can remember this, because this went on in Atlanta, Georgia, all over Atlanta, Georgia, especially in the bad neighborhoods like Zone 1 and Zone 3 where me and him from. They called the officer when he came to the school, Officer what? Friendly.
Friendly. Officer Friendly.
Yep. Officer, I knew he was going to relate to it. Officer Friendly. And Officer Friendly came to your school to talk to the kids about doing their schoolwork, about, setting goals for themselves, being productive citizens. and so forth and so on. Officer Freely. No greater love than a man that lay down his life for his friends. Officers, check and serve. They're there to minister to you and I, and they're there to lay down their lives. For that they have a big target on their back. Anytime that officer's in that unit driving that car, he could be at the red light. That could be an ambush on that officer.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna get into more of that later. Let me get on back into the scriptures. Let's go to let's go to Luke chapter number 3. Let's go to Luke chapter number 3.
All right.
This is when John the Baptist was doing the emergence. We're gonna skip down to we're gonna begin at verse number 12 through 14. Can you read that for me, brother?
Luke 3, verse 12. Then came also publicans to be baptized, and said unto him, Master, what shall we do? And he said unto them, Exact no more than that which is appointed you.
Mm-hmm.
And the soldiers likewise demanded of him, saying, And what shall we do?
Josh,
and he said,
that word soldiers there, what is that translated in the Strong's?
I can look it up. I don't got it on deck, but I can look it up right now. Soldiers. Let me pull that up. Okay. Soldiers in Luke chapter 3, 40, it's 47:54 in the Greek section.
Mm-hmm. And
the word is strat-u-ahi. Let me repeat that. Strat-u-ahi. And it says, middle voice from the base of Greek 47:56, to serve in a military campaign.
Okay.
Figuratively, to execute the apostolate, which is arduous duties and functions. So it's related to being an apostle too. Wow. To contend with carnal inclinations. Soldier, go to warfare.
So this soldier, you could also liken it to centurion, would you say?
Mm-hmm. That's
okay.
right.
So, can you read verse 14 again and finish that, please?
Okay. And the soldiers likewise demanded of him, saying, And what shall we do?
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto them, Do violence to no man, neither accuse any falsely, and be content with your wages.
Oh, so he told this soldier, do violence to no man. That means an officer is not supposed to commit bodily harm to you. He's
That's
not.
right.
He's not to be out. Is supposed to be out there shooting you down in the streets. Not the
That's
righteous
right.
officer. They're not supposed to be planting drugs and different paraphernalia on your person or in your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to be content with your wages, because we all know that police officers and sheriffs and law enforcement officials have a yearly wage, they get paid by, a nice salary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Let's go into Matthew chapter number 8, please, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew chapter number 8.
Hey, you know what's so funny, Minister? Let me just add something in here.
Go ahead.
You know what's so funny? John the Baptist is talking to the centurions, which would be the ancient police of that day.
Right.
And if you notice, when they asked him, what shall we do, did he say, oh, you need to quit the police force or stop being a centurion because that's against God?
Right.
Did he say anything like that?
No, he did not.
He didn't say anything like that. And I just felt we need to point that out, because you got a lot of religious organizations, especially among the black Hebrews and the conscious community, that try to tell you that it's wrong in of itself just being a police officer. Like, that's a sin.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? Well, it's for a foreign nation. You can't be a police officer in America. These are Roman centurions we're reading about. And they asked John the Baptist, what should we do? He could have just got smart and said nothing. Go jump in the lake. Y'all evil. He didn't, or quit being a police officer and follow me until the Mashiach show up, because the Mashiach haven't showed up at the time. Jesus ain't showed up yet. But he just told them, like you pointed out, and I love how you pointed this out, don't falsely accuse nobody, meaning lying on people. Planting false evidence on people is a form of lying on people, right? Be content with your wages. In other words, don't be on what they call it, on the take, officer on the take. You know what I'm saying? Meaning he's taking bribes. You know what I'm saying? Or he's profiteering from the crime that he's supposed to be stopping and preventing. You know, taking drug money and stuff.
Right.
That's why he told them to be content with their wages so they wouldn't do anything immoral to get more money other than that. So I just want to point that out because you got a lot of folks that will tell you we're supposed to be police officers anyway. Why John the Baptist, who Jesus said was great, no man born among woman was greater than him, why would he not tell them just to quit? You know? So I just want to point that out, Andre.
That's a great point, brother. Like you said, do no violence, no man. You're not supposed to be out there abusing your authority.
Right.
Even, you know, Josh, that's a great point. That was a great point, Josh. Excellent. Matthew chapter number 8. Matthew 8, and this is the centurion here. Let's look at this. Matthew 8, and we're going to begin reading at verse number 5, brother.
Okay. And when Jesus was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Jesus saith unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed.
Wait a minute. This centurion is beseeching who?
Jesus, the Messiah.
So if he was evil, he should be seeking for somebody who has like the mindset that he has, right? If he was evil.
Or just a straight up devil, right?
Wow. And not only did he seek, he said to him, when he said, yeah, I go up, but he said, no, I ain't worthy you come up under my roof, but speak the word only. Go ahead, bro.
That's some faith right there. Verse 9. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, go, and he goeth. And to another, come, and he cometh. And to my servant, do this, and he doeth it. When Jesus heard it... Stop
right there. So the centurion said he had men under him. That's what he said, right? Okay. Let me go into the Revell Bible Dictionary. This is page 200, and it's under centurion. A Roman officer commanding 100 soldiers. Did he just not say, well, I'm a man under authority having soldiers under me? He has command over 100 officers under him, 100 soldiers under him. The Roman army was organized into legions, each with full strength complement of 6,000 men. Each legion was made up of 6 cohorts with 60 centurions of 100 men, each led by a centurion. Centurions were the working officers of the Roman army dependent. Listen at this: intelligent, well-paid, and highly motivated. They typically stayed in the army beyond the normal 20-year enlistment. On discharge, a centurion received a large bonus. Many became influential citizens of the cities in which they retired. Did y'all hear it? Did y'all hear that? Did you guys know that sheriff's departments, police departments are paramilitary? This was his hope.
That's right.
And it said they were intelligent and well paid. You can't be a dummy and be a police. You got a lot of law to learn. You have to have a high school diploma or equivalent to that thereof. College degree, highly motivated to do the job and to lose your life if it calls for it. And in New York City, Sal can attest to this, if he's aware of it, in New York City, law enforcement police officers can retire 20 years. Down here in the South, it's still 30 years. That was the old plan that I was under, with 82% of your salary. So at 20 years, stayed in longer than 20 years. But if you notice, they said they became influential citizens of the cities in which they retired. With that being said, let's go back to the scriptures and let's see if the Revell Bible Dictionary bear this out about centurions being productive citizens in the cities they were in. Let's go to Luke 7, brother.
Mm-hmm. So, Minister DeAndre, would you say that the ancient centurions was the historical equivalent of what you are today, or what you were?
Spot on, brother. I was exactly. Because
they had high-ranking positions. Because a deputy sheriff is not like the average police officer that you just see riding around. High-ranking police officer, so to speak. You know what I mean? Just like the centurion.
A deputy sheriff, excuse me, y'all. A deputy sheriff has statewide jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
That means they have arrest power in the entire, here in Georgia. My arrest power will go to any square inch in Georgia. I can come get you.
So you're not restricted by, say, a county.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can come all the way from your side of town to my side of town, and if I'm just acting up, you can arrest me. You ain't got to call for no local officers. You can arrest me yourself and turn me over to the local officers. That what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Well, if you have a warrant in DeKalb County, then we can come to Savannah, Georgia. We can go to Jekyll Island, Georgia. Jekyll Island. We can go to Macon, Georgia. We can go to wherever you want to think of in Georgia and come and get you.
You better leave the state.
Whereas the police, county, or city jurisdiction.
So that sounds like a man with a lot of authority to me, like you said about that centurion. That sounds exactly like that. That sounds like the police of the day back then. That's what that sounds like to me.
Right. And we're not coming to get you if you have not done anything. We're not knocking on the door to come get you or got a no-knock warrant to come get you if you ain't done nothing. You got to be done something.
That's right.
Okay. So now we're in Luke chapter number 7. We're going to read verses 2 through 5, my brother.
Okay. Luke 7, verse 2. And a certain centurion's servant who was dear unto him was sick and ready to die. And when he heard of Jesus, he sent unto him the elders of the Jews, beseeching him that he would come and heal his servant. And when they came to Jesus, they besought him instantly, saying that he was worthy for whom he should do this. For he loveth our nation, and he hath built us a synagogue.
Whoa. This centurion's servant loved the Jews' nation and built them a synagogue?
That's what it said.
Now, that does not mean, John, would you think that doesn't mean that this centurion built this with his own hands, does it?
Nah.
What you think that means, my brother?
It means that he was behind the project, or he put forth the money to make it happen.
Thank you, my brother.
You said they were well paid. You said they were well paid, didn't it?
They said they were well paid, and it said they became influential citizens in the cities in which they retired. And if anybody knows about police and sheriffs, especially sheriffs and police chiefs, because they are the figureheads of the department and the agencies, they do a lot of community service. A lot of community service. I know I don't celebrate Christmas. Josh don't celebrate Christmas. A lot of you guys don't celebrate Christmas, but I'm just going to use this for point of reference. Christmas time, they're at the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office, the front lobby is full of toys for the kids who's unfortunate. Just using that to make a point of reference.
Right.
When it come down to books and stuff, things of that nature, to go back to school, they're heavily involved in that kind of thing. When it comes down to having the junior deputy, giving them the junior deputy pins and signals, they're influential in that. In other words, those individual kids that are in schools that are doing well, they give them a badge of honor called, what they call the junior deputy. Follow what I'm saying? Giving that child something to look forward to. Not saying that child has to be a deputy growing up. In other words, what he's saying is you're a productive citizen. you're going somewhere in life. See, a lot of people don't even know this stuff about the police because
this is my first time. This is my first time hearing it, brother. I mean, I know we got together on doing this class before, but this stuff you saying here, this is my first time hearing it. You ain't even told me that before the class started. I didn't even know that the sheriffs did those kind of things. Like they got involved in the community like that. I did not know that.
I want to say some things for you, my brother.
Okay then.
This is learning skills for everybody. You follow what I'm saying? All of us. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beautiful thing. In the media, one thing I learned, we all learned in mandate school is the instructor will tell you the media does not like the police. You like,
I can see that.
I know a lot of y'all be like, why wouldn't the media like y'all? Does the media give you correct story system on anything? No, they don't.
It's very biased. It's very biased reporting. We all know that.
Yes. The media, whenever officers involved in something, if that officer did the right thing, they're going to give you a negative spin on it. If the officer did the wrong thing, they're going to give you the negative spin on it, which they should anyway. But that filters over into those officers that are not doing the negative thing. So when an officer does something wrong, those people out there that have that biased judgment or the unrighteous judgment, sometimes they look at every officer, oh, you're negative. You know you're wrong. You wear that badge. You abuse your authority. I hate the police.
Right.
Because of the perceptions of the media.
That's that smear campaign conspiracy we're talking about.
That is right there. That smear campaign. Brother, with that being said, that centurion, if you go into the Strong's Concordance, G1543, it says captain of 100 men, just like the Revell Bible Dictionary said. And as I said, that the I don't know if any of y'all out there may have been in the Army, Navy, Marines. One of the jobs is MP or military police.
That's right.
And most MPs come out of the military and become police for an agency in the county or city or in the sheriff's office. And the police and sheriff is paramilitary. That's where you get sergeant, lieutenant, captain. Just like the centurion was a captain, and he had men up under him. Well, guess what? The captain in the sheriff's department, up under him is the lieutenant. Up under that is the sergeant. And up under that are the line officers. And the ranking goes on up to major, to deputy, on and on and on, up the chain. Bro, let's go into Matthew chapter number 27, where the Messiah was being crucified. And let's look at this in centurion. And because some think that police don't believe in the Most High.
Right.
Some people actually believe it. You can't believe in the Most High if you're a police officer. You would shoot somebody. Well, guess what? I ain't got to be no police officer. I'll shoot somebody who try to come to my house.
Exactly. Coming out unannounced or in a threatening manner, what you're supposed to do. You follow what I'm saying?
If I'm at a Walmart or a Kroger down here in Atlanta, we got Kroger down here. If I'm at a Kroger or Walmart or Ingles and I see somebody trying to commit bodily harm to somebody else, and I'm right there, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna act to help save that person.
Meaning you're risking your own life to do so, right?
Exactly. But let's go to Matthew 27 and we'll read verses 50 through 54, brother.
Okay, Matthew 27, verse 50. Jesus, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom. And the earth did quake, and the rocks rent.
Get out of verse 54, brother.
Okay. Now, when the centurion and they that were with him, watching Jesus, saw the earthquake, those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, truly, this was the Son of God.
Did not this officer believe that this was the Son of the Most High God?
And his soldiers under him. That's what it said. They that were with him. Yep. So the deputy sheriff or the sheriff and all the police under him, they believe that. He's the Son of God, yes.
They believe that.
After his own people unrighteously condemned him to death.
Wow. You just took the words directly out of my mouth.
But we supposed to hate the police, though. You got the police right here saying truly this man was the Son of God, and you are Israelite, but you hate the police. Not all Israelites, y'all don't hurt me, but you hate the police. But the police in your Bible, and yes, this is the police, we're going to prove that, because you can see the equivalent anyway, but we're going to read some stuff. They saying this man was truly the Son of God, right? And y'all hate them, but it's your people that unrighteously and illegally condemn him to death. I just want to say that. I had to point that out.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. Let's go to Acts chapter number 5, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going into the prison. Now we're going inside the jail. We were outside the jail starting. Now we're going inside.
Right.
Acts chapter 5, brother, and pick it up at verse number 17, please. 17 through 20.
5 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me just turn here. Okay, here we go. Then the high priest rose up, and all they that were with him, which is the set of the Sadducees, and were filled with indignation, and laid their hands on the apostles.
Wait a minute, Josh. Wait a minute. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
The high priest, corrupt,
right?
Indignation, laid their hands on the apostles?
That's right.
Didn't say that the police laid their hands on them, did it?
No, it said the religious folk laid their hands on them.
The religious folk. The hypocrites.
That's right.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 18. And laid their hands on the apostles and put them in the common prison.
So they had jails back then too, John?
They sure did.
Okay, go ahead.
Can't have jails without police. I'm just saying. Verse 19. But the angel of the Lord by night opened the prison doors and brought them forth and said, Go, stand and speak in the temple to the people all the words of this life.
Okay.
And when they...
So the angel let them out.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all can go and read 22 through 23 on your own. Skip down to verse number 26, brother.
Verse 26. Then went the captain with the officers and brought them without violence.
Wait a minute. So the captain and the officers brought them without violence, but the Sadducees didn't put their hand on them.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
For they feared the people, lest they should have been stoned.
Okay. Skip down to verse number 40 through 41.
40. And to him they agreed, and when they had called the apostles and beaten them, they commanded that they should not in the name of Jesus and let them go.
Now, I skipped down here because the captain and the officers didn't beat them. These were the Sadducees them that beat these apostles.
Mm-hmm.
I want y'all to be mindful of this now. The officers didn't beat them.
Mm-hmm. The religious folk.
The religious folk are the ones that got the unrighteous judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what, people? We're going to show you that the religious people are the ones that are the main ones that say they believe in quote-unquote God, and the main ones that are refusing to obey authority and verbal commands.
Main one hate the police.
Brother, let's go over to Acts chapter 6, and then I'm going to be wrapping up, and you can take over from there.
All right. Acts chapter
16. This is when
16.
Acts chapter 16, we're going to read verse 22.
Acts 16 and verse 22. Okay, here we go. And the multitude rose up together against them, and the magistrates rent off their clothes and commanded to beat them.
Oh, here we go again. The magistrates commanded, rent off their clothes. Now, who the only one that rent their clothes? Was the centurions or was that the Israelites, brother?
It said they ordered it to do it. The Israelites did. because they didn't like them.
Go ahead.
Verse 23. And when they had laid many stripes upon them, they cast them into prison, charging the jailer to keep them safely.
Oh, jailer. Did I not tell y'all when we started, I was a certified basic jailer?
Mm-hmm.
When I was inside the jail? Oh, jail.
That's right.
The jailer right here?
Mm-hmm. That's the police all day.
Now, this is Shaul and Silas. This is Paul and Silas now that we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
After they're preaching and they just cast out a devil out of a woman. She was possessed with a spirit. If you go back up and read the verses before this. But I'm, for sake of time, just trying to get to the point. What verse you stopped at? You stopped at 23, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Skip down to verse number, well, keep reading, verse number 25.
25.
I'm sorry, 24.
24. Who, having received such a charge, thrust them into the inner prison and made their feet fast in the stocks.
Now, not only they put them in jail, they put them in lockdown. That's the inner prison.
Yeah. The worst time of being locked up. Locked down.
Locked down. That means the hole, what they call the hole.
Mm-hmm. That's
what they talking about. That's why they said the inner prison. They put them in the hole.
Or the box. Sometimes they call it the box too, don't they? The hot box. Old school term.
Yeah. Hot box, the hole. Yes.
Solitary confinement.
Yes. 23-hour lockdown, 1 hour out.
Yeah.
Doesn't take a shower.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, brother.
Verse 25. And at midnight, Paul and Silas prayed and sang praises unto God, and the prisoners heard them.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to these two men who's been beaten, rolled in the hole. They singing praises to the Most High. Do you hear them talking about, y'all going to hell, you ought to go to hell because you ain't nothing but the devil, your police officers and all that kind of stuff?
No, they ain't saying nothing like that.
They exemplifying fruits of the Spirit, ain't they?
Mm-hmm.
Love, joy, peace. They got peace and joy still.
Mm-hmm.
He said they singing praises, and the prisoners heard them. I wonder why Luke, as he was giving this account, why is he making the significance of the prisoners hearing them? Go ahead, my brother, continue to read.
Verse 26. And suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken, and immediately all the doors were opened, and everyone's bands were loosed.
So not only was they loose, everybody in the jail is out because of these guys shouting and giving praise to the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, the cell doors didn't open up, the shackles didn't came off.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all get the visual. Go ahead, brother.
Ain't on lockdown no more. Verse 27.
No more. Exactly.
And the keeper of the prison awakened out of his sleep, and seeing the prison doors open, he drew out his sword and would have killed himself, supposing that the prisoners had been fled.
So
but Paul,
go ahead, bro.
But Paul cried with a loud voice, saying, "Do thyself no harm, for we are all here."
Wait a minute now. The prison guards sleep. Obviously, this is during the night shift.
Mm-hmm.
They got shift work. So the prison guard didn't fell asleep over there. Woke up, everybody out. This man would have killed himself because, these people out that's escaped. This man, ain't no telling what the protocol that they would do to him. I know in our time, you get suspended or lose your job if somebody gets as an escape.
Oh, back then, you can look that up, Andre. Back then, if somebody fell asleep on their watch, they either went to prison or they were executed. That's why the guy wanted to kill himself. You can look that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See. Wow. So that's why the guy was going to kill himself. You heard shit. That's why I couldn't do the play with nobody but this brother here. So this guy, so Shaul said, Paul said, no, don't do yourself no harm. Now, this righteous guy didn't tell him, don't slit your throat, cut your head off.
Right.
Dirty cop. He said it.
Mr. DeAndre, you got me laughing because you know good and well, keeping it 100, if that would have happened today, not only would we have not tried to stop the cop from killing himself, we would have told him exactly where to stick the sword. Make sure you stick it to your throat. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know, he's stopping the man, even though he's part of the same officers that had Paul and them unrighteously arrested in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Who were doing it, who were executing that. You know what I'm saying? That's something to think about.
Yes, sir. What verse was that? That was that verse we all hear, right?
Okay. Verse 28 that we stopped at, 28.
Go ahead and read verse 29, bro.
Then he called for a light and sprang in and came trembling and fell down before Paul and Silas and brought them out and said, "What must I do to be saved?"
Wow. This prison, God, because of these guys' righteous behavior, steadfast faith, unwavering faith in the face of all this adversity, see these guys, they said, I got to know this person that they say they worship and serve. I got to know. What must I do to be saved? I want y'all, this speaks volume, because you as a servant of the Most High, everybody got a job to do, sister and brother. The police got their job to do, and guess what? You as a servant, you got your job to do. You can have a police officer that does not know the Most High, that does not know Yahushua Mashiach, has not never, but because of your actions, was arrested unrighteously. Because some people go to jail for doing nothing, for not doing anything.
That's right.
Falsely accused, like Joseph went to jail for false accusation. Paul them in jail because they preaching in the name of Yahushua and delivering people. And because you in jail, instead of you, woe is me, they trying to do me in, instead of you continue to worship the creator that you serve, you around here come out your mouth with all kind of folly. You can't. People looking at your behavior.
That's right.
Man.
Condemning all police officers for something some police officers did. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's so significant about this too, Aundrey? Is the fact that the people who actually arrested them unrighteously and was holding them there unrighteously, they stopped them. It's not like Paul was like, okay, you good, you know, to other people who had nothing to do with that, other police officers that had nothing to do with that. The one that specifically had them locked up and were locking them up, you know, because the Jews were ultimately behind all this stuff. They launched the campaign against preaching in the name of the Messiah, Yahushua or Jesus. They launched all this up, but they was using the authorities, the Roman authority. They were manipulating the Roman authorities to make this stuff happen, you know. But you had Roman soldiers who were all too willing to, you know, lock up people, because a lot of them were corrupt. History will tell you a lot of these centurions were corrupt police officers. That's why the Bible makes a big deal out of it when you see the chosen few who don't act like the rest of them. You know what I mean? But these people who were obviously part of the ones that were either part of that corruption or just willing to carry it out, these are the ones that Paul told, don't kill yourself. Paul could have let that. Paul could have ran. Paul was a Roman citizen, and Paul knew the law, Aundrey. So he know what would have happened to the centurion if somebody escaped on his watch.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he was literally sleeping on the job. So nobody thinks of it like that. What we want to do as a people, and like I said, it ain't just us, black people, but it's the majority black people. What we want to do is paint an ugly picture of all police officers in general, right, with the help of the media, because that's how we hear about all this stuff, through the media. And we want to make all the cops be corrupt. We want to make all the cops be wicked. That's a smear campaign. It's a conspiracy, and they want us to do this. So when you see a police officer just doing his job, routine traffic stop, or just patrolling the city, and he pulls you over for whatever reason, right or wrong, you are already hostile toward him. And you're already more likely to do something that's going to trigger him to either get you arrested or killed. And I'm telling y'all, that's the conspiracy. That's what we're telling y'all. That's the conspiracy. And this man is a police officer, Aundrey, Mr. Aundrey. He's a police officer, and he can tell you that's all that's going to end up happening to you.
That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to end up happening. Either you're going to get a taser to you or some OC spray to your eyes, then you and locked up and thrown in jail because you refuse to obey simple instructions like, let me see your hands. But we're going to deal with more of that a little later on.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother, in verse number 30.
30. And brought them out and said, Sirs, what must I do to be saved?
Okay, we read that.
And verse 31. And they said, Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and thou shalt be saved, and thy house. And they spake unto him the word of the Lord, and to all that were in his house. And he took them the same hour of the night, and washed their stripes, and was baptized, he and all his, straightway.
Do y'all not hear this? The jailer took them, washed their stripes. He was baptized, him and all his house.
Straightway, immediately.
Straightway? And then set meat before him if you read verse 34. Don't sound like they looking at the police as negative people.
Nope.
Wow. So let's go Hebrews 13. Let's go to Hebrews 13. I got two after that, and then let you have it, brother. Hebrews 13.
Somebody not reading this book.
A lot of them not reading it.
A lot of us, man, these people, personal emotions of how they view the police, cloud their judgment on what the scriptures say we're supposed to view civil authority figures. You know, that's bad. I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy. They trying to get you hurt or arrested. That's why they're trying to do that. You say Hebrews 13 and what?
Hebrews 13, verse 17.
17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Josh. The writer is writing to the Hebrews.
That's right.
That's
why it's called Hebrews.
To obey them that have rule over you. Do you not know that the police sheriffs have rule over you? Yes, they do. They have the power, and I talked to Josh about this tonight, at the snap of a finger to take your life, meaning literally away, you stop existing, or put you in jail, just like that.
Your life is over if you get locked up, at least for a while, right?
Obey them that have rule over you and submit yourself, for they watch for your soul. Go ahead, bro.
And let me just point something out too. Watch for your soul. That means guard your lives. In other words, protect and serve. That's what that means right there.
Yes.
Yes. I just had to point that out. As they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you.
And they must give account, for they must do it exactly, because guess what? With much power comes much responsibility.
That's right.
The most I granted me this job. You didn't give me this authority for me to abuse it.
Right.
So those officers that's not upstanding officers, that are crooked cops, they got to give an account.
That's right.
See, the problem with people is who say they believe in the word, you want to be the judge, jury, God, angels, and everything. You won't allow. You don't want to do. You don't want to do your part.
Right. You don't want to submit.
You trying to do everybody else's part. If everybody focus on doing their part, keep the mirror in your face. Because every time I stand in the mirror, I don't see nobody but me.
That's right.
I let my daughter stand beside me or my wife or my kids. But other than that, every time I stand in that mirror, it's me alone. So everybody got a job to do. These police officers got a job to do that they may do. When I put on that uniform on, I love doing my job. I love doing my job because I didn't abuse my job. I believed that the angel was accounting around about me to protect me from hurt, harm, and danger. So I had no fear out there. Was that somebody gonna come up and, and if they did, then hey, that must have been the way I was supposed to go.
That's
right.
right.
I looked at it. But let's go to Romans chapter number 13, brother. It's amazing. We're in Hebrews 13. Let's flip back over to Romans 13, same chapter.
Can I add one more thing about this Hebrews 13 before we go to Romans 13?
Go ahead.
If you notice, it said, for they watch for your soul, which means they protect and guard your lives, as they that must give account. It says that they may do it with joy and not with grief. So this is saying that we're not supposed to give the people who protect and serve us grief so they can do their job with joy. Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of us try to do. We've been programmed, to give the police grief. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We're supposed to try to make in other words, we're supposed to try to make their job easy for them. You know what I'm saying? I want to point that out too, because a lot of folks who claim they're in the truth, when you start reading stuff like this, they kind of zone out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They start losing interest. They start getting off the switchboard. They start looking at something else. You know what I'm saying? And I can't see the switchboard, but I have my own switchboard when I do it, and I know when I start talking about certain stuff that requires personal change, that's when folks start hanging up the phone. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to point this out because it's telling you, if you are, like the brother said, this is for people who believe the Bible, the whole Bible. If you are a Messianic Hebrew, meaning you are a Hebrew Israelite that believes in the Old and New Testament, then you can't deny this. You can't be like, well, I know this, but I'm going to do me. No, if you say you believe this Bible and we want you to call in and tell us if we don't say it or did anything that's outside of the Scripture, then if you say you believe, then you got to do this. This is how you're supposed to view the authorities. You can't view them the way you want to view them. You got to view them the way it said it. But I just want to throw that out there because some people think that they can obey the police, but they can do it with an attitude and they still good. No, we're supposed to give them no attitude either. You know what I'm saying? So they can do it with joy. But I just wanted to point that out. Sorry about that. I had to throw that in there, too.
Oh, no problem. Excellent, brother. Excellent. You're spot on. Excellent. Exactly, brother. Romans 13.
Mm-hmm.
Verses 1 and 2, brother.
1 and 2?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of God. Mm-hmm. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
Whoa. The powers that be ordained of Elohim, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this time, who was Israel ruled by?
The Roman government.
Oh. Was it not prophesied? Babylon, Medo, Persia, Greeks, and Rome?
That's right.
So, he said the power that be ordained of Elohim. So, let's break it down to the local police. Did not the Most High have police in the old days that we had already established?
That's right, yes.
Police in our day.
Mm-hmm.
The powers that be ordained of the Most High. And it says, therefore, resist the powers, resist the orders, and they that resist shall receive themselves damnation. That's why you have these people that resist arrest.
That's what I was thinking. I was just thinking that. That's what they made me think of, resisting arrest.
They resisting arrest, they get the top of their head shot off, or they going to jail getting sprayed or taser.
Mm-hmm.
Because the man or the woman told you, sir, empty your pockets, lay on the ground. I ain't doing that. What you pulling over for? I'm just walking down the street. Okay, all right, you walking down the street. She stopped you or he stopped you. She had to have a problem with cause to stop you. Maybe you were doing something. Maybe you look suspicious. Okay, whatever. Okay, if she violating policy and procedure, you can deal with that at another time. Right now, your job is to get your behind on the ground.
That's right.
I'm just going to be blunt and plain with you because this is serious business, people.
Mm-hmm.
Get your behind on the ground and spread them so that they can search you. And if you ain't got nothing on you, they'll let you go. And if you've done wrong and your civil rights was violated, a lot of people don't even know their rights, first of all, as a citizen. If your rights were violated, then you can go to the Office of Professional Status and have that officer dealt with.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Instead of going through all that ring, hey, dude, now what you know, man, black on you, you profile the rest, all that old madness. Your job is to get back home to your wife and kids, girlfriend, significant other, family, That's your job. That's what your your focus should be. You left your house, then you get back in one piece.
That's right. Alive and well.
Did the book did not say those that resist shall receive themselves damnation? I'm not talking about the officer that's abusing authority. Let's be clear about that. I'm not talking about the officer that's abusing authority, that's using excessive force. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about the officer that's doing the job right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bro. Let me get Titus 3, and that's a wrap. And then you can take it from there.
It's funny you brought that out, too, man, because y'all know, especially my people, our people, y'all know how irate we get with the police. And remember, this is from a servant of God perspective. People who believe the Bible. I want y'all to keep that in mind. Paul and Silas were unrighteously arrested. They weren't unrighteously just detained. When a police officer pulls you over, that's detaining you, not arresting you. Paul and Silas were arrested and put in prison for nothing but just teaching the word of God, right? Which was not illegal, right? But, they manipulate the powers that be, the Jews, and found the loophole to get them thrown in prison. So if Paul and Silas can peacefully go to prison, right, and maintain their faith, then you mean to tell me if you really believe this word like you claim you do, because a lot of folk under say they swear you down, I'm hardcore, I believe in the word, right? Mm-hmm. Then why can't you just patiently let the officer pull you over? If he asks you to step out of your vehicle, step out of your vehicle. Because remember, the goal is like the brother said, this is coming from, I want everybody to remember, Aundrey, this advice is coming from a certified police officer, deputy sheriff, high ranking. Right? This ain't no advice. This ain't just this, well, I think you should based on what I heard. No, this man knows, right? Do what that officer says. If your civil rights were violated, deal with that later. But in the meantime, your life is literally hanging in the balance. You know what I'm saying?
And let me say this, y'all, before I make we read this last text. Before I even got in law enforcement, this one I was on a record label. I had just dropped one of the label mates off at his house. Mm-hmm. In Forest Park. Josh knows Forest Park is pretty. They don't play at Forest Park.
Nah, they don't.
So we're in Forest Park. I dropped him. It's 2 in the morning. After I drop him off, I'm coming out of his neighborhood. So I've committed to make the left turn. As I committed into the street, the light turned yellow. But I'm already committed. I can't back up. I got to clear the intersection. That's right. So I made the left so I can go down and get on the expressway to come on home. Police got behind me. He followed me for about a mile down the street. I knew he was going to cut the lights on. Now I'm in the car. I'm in the Buick LeSabre. I got rims on it. I got rims on it, golden chrome rims on it. I got music in the car all the time. I ain't playing no loud music in there now, but I got to fix up the car. So he stopped me. He profiled me. I didn't run the red light, but he pulled me over. He pulled me over. The first thing I said to the officer was, "Sir, I have a weapon in the car." That's the first thing I said when he came, "Sir, I have a weapon in the car. Exit the vehicle, please." I exited the vehicle. He put me in handcuffs, told me to sit out on the curb, searching my car and everything. Now, first of all, I didn't, he's searching my car and everything, took the weapon, put the clip in the trunk, the gun in the dashboard, the bullet somewhere in the pouch in the back seat. Then he gone by my business. But I didn't go off and tell him, "Why are you stopping me? I didn't run the light, blah, blah." I didn't get into all that. Mind you, this was a white officer. It's 2 in the morning. We on a side street in Forest Park. I ain't saying a word. I'm in handcuffs on the ground, just sitting there watching. Do his job. And when he finished, he took the cuffs off me. My insurance was straight. My license was straight. I had no drug paraphernalia on me, no alcohol on my breath, and neither was I defiant with office. To the house I went. No problem. And I said that to say this right here. Let's get Titus 3, brother, 1 through.
Titus 3 and what?
Titus 3, here to verse 1.
Okay. Verse 1. Put them in mind to be subject to principalities and powers, to obey magistrates, to be ready to every good work.
Obey magistrates. Go ahead.
2, to speak evil of no man.
To speak
evil of no man. Of no man.
So why are you calling the police crooked cops? Not all police are crooked cops.
That's right.
Not all prison guards are crooked jailers.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you calling them 5, 0, and 12? As if that's some demonic entity or something. Here come 12. They go 5, 0.
Mm-hmm.
If 5, 0, and 12 were patrolling your neighborhood, it'd be freaking anarchy.
That's right.
If 5, 0, and 12 were patrolling your neighborhood, it would be worse than what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Speak evil of no man. Bible believers.
That's right.
Go ahead.
To be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto all men.
Wow. See, brother, this is stuff I be talking about. Why brothers get on this show arguing about it's the white man, the devil, and this and that and all this other stuff? What about these fundamental things like this? Just skip this on.
Every time.
Skip these fundamental things that's really going to prepare you into the kingdom. But you focus on all this carnal stuff. That's going to get you expressly cut off. Verse number 3, brother.
3. For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish.
Were we not?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Disobedient.
Were we not?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Deceived.
Were we not? I'm just going to add.
We all, Satan deceived the whole world. That's what it said.
Go ahead.
Serving divers lusts.
Were we
and
not?
Pleasures. Yep.
Go ahead.
Living in malice and envy, hateful and hating one another.
Come on, man. We all got a past. And guess what? All of our past is not squeaky clean. I guarantee it.
That's right.
But those of us who say we believe in the word, we're supposed to have a renewed mind. Go ahead, bro. Finish that. Finish verse number finish verse 4.
4. But after that, the kindness and love of God our Savior toward man appeared.
We got grace and mercy, and the love of the Most High appeared, even use your Mashiach. So I'm concluding right here, brothers and sisters, with the scriptural parts I'm bringing, where this police smear campaign is concerned. Brother Josh, thank you, brother. Take it and bring it home for us.
Praise God, the Most High, Minister Aundrey. And before I get into mine, all the tradition that I always do at this point, after about an hour, I like to go to the people, if that's okay with you, Sal.
All right, we're going to take some of your questions and your comments at this time. Let's go to the first caller. Let's go to 832-274.
Hey, how y'all doing, man? Hey, that was a good, real good, good information, and I really appreciate the angle, especially coming from an ex-police officer himself. I don't know if he's still on the line, but
appreciate it.
But yeah, man, I've been to Atlanta, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been to Georgia. I'm from Texas. My name Anthony. I'm from Texas, and I've been there. That's one thing that I really marveled about Atlanta. I only spent, I didn't never live there, but when I was there, I was very, I would say, marveled by how much more, I would say, tolerant the laws are out there than in other places. And I don't know. I wonder if your experience is based off of your direct experience and not really, the general United States. Because, man, in Texas, man, I can tell you from personal experience, I've been singled out. I've been pulled over for no reason several times. I slammed on the floor. I've been guns pulled out on me, man, over all kind of stuff. Especially in my teenage years out here, man. And so yeah, after years of going through that, when you ain't never done nothing, you develop I would say you develop a. I never had a hatred for police, man. I had family members who were police officers too, you know, in the Houston area, but I did have serious contention or serious man, I can't think of the best word for it, but I would say contention for lack of a better term.
Animosity. How about animosity?
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Yeah, man. And, you know, I was always a believer, man. I just came in the truth 3 years ago. Before that, I was in the Sunday church. And so I always believe what y'all talking about, you know, being respectful for the laws. I was always like that. But when you like that and you constantly get messed around, you constantly get messed with, you know, police singling you out, taking pictures, you talking about what kind of gang you in and so on and so, you know. And, you know, I don't think that this is propaganda that you see on TV. I think what's happening is things are really starting to come to the light. I don't think, you know, I think when people say something is propaganda, I look at it as it's really somebody trying to paint a false picture of what's reality. But what I think is happening is things are really starting to come to the light, man. Most of the time when I look at the TV and the media, they're really trying to paint at least in my opinion, a lot of times they try to paint the police in a better picture and what I would call the victim in many examples as the bad guy, when a lot of times, man, they were really the victims. You know what I'm saying? So I know, and again, you know, I agree with. I'm not saying I disagree with really anything you said other than that. Other than I just believe that maybe your experience is different than what we would see kind of in the general population of the United States. Because man, in reality, when I was in Atlanta, man, that was like nowhere I ever been before. You know. So anyway, man, appreciate it, man. Really a blessing.
Let me ask you a question. How long ago it was when you came to Atlanta?
So I've been in Atlanta. It was about 5 years ago now. Yeah.
Okay. We used to have the APD used to have a unit called the Red Dogs.
Oh yeah, I know who they are.
It's called it. And I'm pretty sure you heard the rap group Goody Mob when they talk about the Dirty Red Dogs. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
The Red.
They had to get rid of them.
Yeah, they had to get rid of the Red Dogs. See, when I grew up in one of the roughest projects in here in Atlanta, Georgia, in what's called Zone 3 in Atlanta. Josh is from Zone 1, which is
right,
the other roughest part of Atlanta. And I've never once in my life been slammed by the police. I've been put in cuffs. I've been cussed out by the police, but I've never been slammed to the ground by the police. I've never been associated or been labeled to be with a gang or any of that stuff. One, I never put myself in predicaments where they could label me like that. So I don't know if were you hanging around anybody that were of any of that kind of affiliation? Were you in areas that had high gang affiliations or activity going on? Yeah. You have to ask yourself the question, what predicaments were you in or what environment were you in to cause these things to happen to you?
Yeah, and I really have, man. I think some of that is the case just because, you know, that was true. And I really, you know, I had, you know, prior cases and, you know, I noticed that every time, you know, I got pulled over at something that, you know, they bring that up. So I don't know if, you know, run the place and stuff. You know, I just wanted to bring that out, though. You know, maybe you're right, though. Maybe that's what it was. But, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Let me speak on that, too, because remember, and appreciate it, too, brother. And everything you said, even if you had prior cases, they still don't give probable cause for somebody to be slamming you on the ground.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, but it does. If they're running your tags and they see priors from something like that, that is probable cause for somebody to think, you know, look at you suspicious. It ain't good enough for them to just say, oh, he most definitely doing something. But remember, Aundrey, before we were talking about this earlier today, we were saying that we were going to ask the people,
right,
you know, the circumstances surrounding the profiling, and also if they got a history. And we're not doing this to this brother to try to be like, oh, it's something you did. No, we're not doing. We ain't playing the blame game. But Minister DeAndre being I don't like to use the word ex because I don't think you really ever stopped being a police officer in heart. We just say retired. Right. You know what I'm saying? Being a retired police officer, right, is here to let y'all know how you can avoid stuff and how you got to really assess your situation to make sure that you're not drawing unnecessary attention to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That's the key right there, brother.
You know, based on
unnecessary attention to yourself. Being you're already a black man in the most atrocious of communities.
Exactly. And listen to this man. Notice he's saying he a black man. He ain't acting like he don't see racism on the police force. He ain't here to pretend like corruption don't exist among the police. But when it comes to the media, which one you think gonna be a better story? A story about a guy who obviously did something wrong and the police intervened and shot and killed him, or they locked him up, or a story where this might be some crooked cop stuff going on. Which one y'all think gonna be a bigger story? Y'all know bad news and sensationalism is gonna be a bigger story. So yes, if the police officers are involved in anything controversial, it's gonna be a bigger story because that's what you call a PR nightmare, and that's what sells. So more often than not, the police, at least by the black community, is going to be painted as the bad guy no matter what the scenario is. We know that for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But we can go to the next caller, please, Sal, if you don't mind.
All right, we appreciate you, 832. We appreciate your call. Let's go to the next person. Somebody calling from Skype. Skype caller, you're live in there.
Yeah. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Sal, Brother Josh, Minister DeAndre. How you fellas doing tonight?
Brother. Blessed, brother.
Hey, man. I want to. I'm grateful for you guys doing this class this evening, and I honestly I think you guys kind of being a little treating the audience with a little kid gloves because it's really deeper that y'all could go into this with. But I appreciate what y'all doing because it's needed. Myself being prior military and also a prior knucklehead out in these streets, I definitely understand everything what y'all coming from. I actually live in the Atlanta area now. I live, I won't say where, but I live, on the south side. And I'm a transplant, I guess, from the West Coast. And so I've noticed the difference from how the police treat you on the West Coast or how they treat you in the A. And, I actually have been arrested in Atlanta, and it was a bogus arrest. They said I had a warrant for some child support. And, I ain't missed child support in my daughter's 12, so about 10 years now. And anyway, and it was a messed up situation. We was on the way to Macon, and I had my family with me. My wife was pregnant at the time, and she crying. And I let everybody know in the car, like, calm down. I ain't scared to go to jail. I haven't been to jail before. I know I ain't did nothing wrong. But the worst thing we can do is wild out. And I think Mr. Aundrey here talked about, I told him I had a weapon on me. Go ahead, reach in there, and I'm a good-sized dude. And it was a white cop, and he was nervous. And I told him, bro, be calm. I'm prior service. You can see my veteran ID in my card. I'm permanently retired. You don't have nothing to worry about. You got to do your job, so it's good. I went down the right street, bailed out. I ended up getting my money back because they falsely arrested me, and everything ended up working out. I teach this to my young cousins, my nephews. At the point of arrest is not the time to fight the police. Right. Right. You want to get home. You want to get home, right? These people just doing their job. Some of them dirty. Most of them people just doing their job. And, whatever, even if you're working at McDonald's, right, somebody coming there acting crazy, you want to keep your job. You want to be able to come to work tomorrow. So I commend y'all for that. I wanted to take a quick time to point one thing out. The brother had called and said he didn't believe in propaganda. I'm part of an ex-elite unit in the military, and I've been all around the world. And unfortunately, some of what these people were doing was doing what we call psyops. I don't know if y'all understand that militarily wise, but from what I see going on in America right now, we have a huge psyops campaign going on, and the goal is to make us become lawless. And this is one of the things that is prophesied in the Bible going into the end times. And I don't know if y'all want to go into that later, but one of the things you're going to see is even more lawlessness than what you see now. And so the goal is to make us become more and more lawless, facing those that are in authority. And so, if y'all wanted to go into that, and maybe talk into that would be great, because what we are seeing, and I'm not saying that there aren't bad officers, right? But we have to be careful not to make the exception the rule. These are exceptions. The rule is most of these guys do get into law enforcement to help and to serve and protect. There are bad apples everywhere, white, black, Hispanic, it don't matter. But the whole goal is for us to understand, if we're doing our job, you really don't have the need for the police in your community if we was doing what we were supposed to do anyway.
Exactly.
I grew up in an area where all you see is D-boys on the corner and doing certain things. So and unfortunately I became one of them people, and it took the military to straighten me out. So the point that you guys are driving home, and I hope that the audience gets, is there really is a concerted effort to specifically attack us in the media and to make us hate anybody in authority, especially the police, but your teachers, your whoever it is that you come into contact with that's going to tell you that you shouldn't do these things. And this is the main reason why we homeschool our children, because I don't want my children influenced by lawlessness. Like, that doesn't mean we're perfect. We won't be perfect until we translate, until we're glorified. But there is a way that we can live righteously, right? And so I do appreciate everything that you guys putting out. And if you could just kind of touch on the PSYOPs campaign that is going on, especially with the media, and I could go deeper into how the CIA is embedded into every journalist, every media outlet in the country. That's a whole nother topic. And we can actually prove these things now through released documents. It's not just conspiracy theories like people try to say or conjecture. But if y'all wanted to kind of touch on, the PSYOPs campaign that it is to try to drive us towards lawlessness, especially our community. And once again, Shabbat Shalom, and Yah bless. Most High bless you, fellas. All praise the Most High.
Shabbat Shalom. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I want to say this right here. When it comes down to the media, or it comes down to, like you said, trying to the smear campaign on the police, I'm gonna pose a question for everybody out there to think about. Whatever city you live in, we here in Atlanta, the brother here in Atlanta, whether in Chicago, wherever you at, if you're in your car or you walking from the store or driving, and they're on the corner, 5 brothers. 5 brothers on the corner. And you was walking and had to catch the bus. There were 5 brothers on the corner. I guarantee you gonna think you ain't gonna catch that bus.
Gonna cross the street or something.
But if it was the police sitting in his unit, you'll go there to catch that bus. Why? Because you feel safe with the police right there sitting there for you to catch that bus. But if that police is not there, 5 brothers sitting there, you will not even catch the bus. So who are you afraid of? The police or your own kind?
Yep.
I just want to put that out there for y'all.
And another scenario with that, like you said, going up there with the brothers there, without the officer, you're afraid. With the officer, you'll do it. Now, how about one or the other? What if just the police was there? Would you still catch the bus? Yeah. Let's not pretend like, and I'm not saying that the brother, and by the way, brother, marvelous insight, the brother just got off the phone. Oh, my God. You know what I'm saying? Marvelous insight. And this is exactly what me and Minister Aundrey was praying for, this interaction, these testimonials. You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying, as a people, let's not pretend like we hate and fear the police more than we fear our own.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we know, especially like, I'm zone 1, he's zone 3. I grew up in one of the roughest projects, too. I grew up in Bankhead Court. Y'all can go online and read about that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't ever walked up and down the street and saw a unit, and I'm like, oh, my goodness, the police, I'm scared. Because I didn't do anything. I grew up in the hood, but I always in the square. Everybody who know me will tell you that. I ain't never getting no trouble, never been arrested. I always walk straight and narrow. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling y'all the truth. Most of my straight and narrow wasn't because I was slick and couldn't get caught. My straight and narrow was because I was scared of going to jail. I ain't going to lie. I'm still scared of going to jail. I don't want to be up in there. Jail ain't got nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't going to lie. In the hood, though, I was scared more of a bunch of brothers who I didn't know congregating in front of a liquor store than I was of a police officer unit was just up and down.
Right.
You know, but another thing too. We'll dabble on what the brother was talking about, but we can't get that deep into it because that's a whole nother level lesson in itself about the whole conspiracy and the psyop thing that he was talking about. But we know where you're going with that, bro. Trust me. We don't talk about this, but we can't go too much into that because they're gonna get us off track of what we're trying to put out here. But we appreciate you bringing that out. But Sarah, you got anybody else?
Yeah, let's go to 478-213. You're live on air.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Shabbat Shalom. DeAndre and Josh is on.
Shabbat Shalom. There he is.
Yeah, man. Great lesson. Great topics. I remember me and Josh talking about, you know, like especially like when a lot of those police shootings and stuff was going on the past couple of years were going on, and it's not so much that it was like prominent, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can really tell, and like DeAndre was saying, like it's a propaganda and it's an agenda being pushed. Especially like with the whole Black Lives Matter thing, they tell you like police is shooting up black people left and right, and it makes it seem like it's like some cataclysmic crazy thing that's going on. But I you know, you go look up the statistics. What is the tongue twister there? If you go look up the statistics on the matter, you'll go see that black people, as a comparison to being shot or involved with violence with police officers as compared to white people, it's not even half. Not even close to it. Like it's almost 3 and 4 times more white folks getting in most stuff with police officers or people in law enforcement than it is black people. But all you read about and hear about in the news is that black kid got shot and doing this and like man, everybody going riding and all this stuff. I'm like, when you go look at it, white guy got shot in a disorder. That's on the bottom page, back page of the news. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't hear nothing about it. That lets you know right there. That should send off a red flag. Yeah, exactly. You should that should send up a red flag. But you know, especially with you, DeAndre, with your experience, and being on both sides of the fence, you know, as you testified today, being on both sides of the fence. Is there any possibility that in the future that you could do a lesson, or not necessarily a lesson, just have a discussion or a discourse, or even give a course, like a class, a lesson on how we should conduct and handle ourselves in certain situations? And the reason I ask that is because, like, I've been in certain situations before myself personally with police officers, and thankfully, I learned my rights a long time ago. So I knew, like, when, like, you know, officer would, and I've had terrible experience. Like, it's crazy because the experience I've had with police officers, when I needed them, they were so helpful. When I didn't need them, I felt like it was the worst experience I ever had in my life. And, but I've had experiences where, like, I knew my rights, and it seemed like it frustrated the police officer. And I'll give you 2 really quick examples. Like, it did one time I got pulled over. The guy pulled me over, and he asked, like, license registration fees, and I said, you know, like, could you show me yours first? Like, I don't know what I got pulled over for, because where I was from, there had been, like, a string of events where guys were pulling people over who weren't cops at nighttime, and I got pulled over at nighttime. So they were pulling people over at night with, like, these little fake little flashlights they put on their dashboard. Not the ones above, but it's just flashing, like, all you see is lights. You know, some people got the red, white, and blue. Some people got the blue lights. Some people got the red lights, depending on where you from. This was back when I was in Florida. So the dude pulled me over, and I was like, can I see you at first? Like, yeah, here you go. Boom, show my stuff. Like, and I gave him my stuff. Like, yeah. Like, so I was like, what seemed to be the problem? And he was like, you know, you got your tag light out. And I was like, okay, that's cool, fine. You know, thank you, you know, for alerting me. I didn't know that it was out. And he asked that I step out the car. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Because he wanted to show me. And then he's like, can I pat you down? I was like, yeah, you pat me down, but just don't go into my pockets and anything. And then he asked me, can he go search my car? And at the time, I was in the car with my son. And my son was like, at that time, he's probably like 6 or 7 years old. And I was like, no, you know, it's 10:30. He got to go to school tomorrow. I was either picking him up from his mom or I was going home because he had school in the morning. I was like, I'm just really trying to get home. I know how long it's going to take because I had previous experience before. I'm sitting there waiting for the dogs to come and all this stuff. And I'm like, no, I'd rather just go home and do anything. I mean, and not not to go through all that. Like I've been through that before. Like I don't have anything in my car, but I just really like to go ahead and go because I know how long it'll take. And he's like, no, we'll just sit here. It's like, well, sir, you sure you don't want to let me search your car? Like, no, I really like to be on my way. And so he still ended up calling the cops. I mean, the other backups, and he called a guy for the dog and another police officer. And the other dude was like, sir, just let us get in your car. And then I was like, no, like I'm really trying to get my son. My son's in the car crying. Like I'm ready to go home. It's late at night. You got to go to school in the morning. And I was like, like, listen, sir, I know my rights. I'm educated. I've been to school. Like, I'm not so. Like, I know I can just go on. Like, if I had something high, I'd be acting all jittery or something. Like, I'm not giving any signs or anything, right? And a police officer, and this goes to what you said earlier, DeAndre. One of the officers, he walked up to me. He looked at me straight in my eyes. And he said, you're not gonna let us search your car? I was like, no, sir. I know my right. I know you need a warrant. And, you can bring your dogs, do whatever, but I know I don't have anything in here. You go get your warrant, whatever. And he said, I told him, I said, he looked at me and he said, you know what, we're going to find the weed and you're going to jail tonight. I said, what? And I looked back and I was like, that's kind of like, you know what, go ahead and do what you got to do, man. Y'all call the dogs and whatever. And at that point in time, I just went, I sat on the curb by myself, like, can I go sit over the curb? Like, I don't have anything, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go sit on the curb. And I went and sat on the curb. And they called the dogs, all that stuff. They went search the car. My son's in there crying, all this stuff. And after about an hour and a half, they said, okay, we're gonna let you go for a tag light being out right at 10:30.
Wow.
Come to find out, the guy that pulled me over, he knows my brother, and he ended up knowing who I was. It's like, man, I know you. He's like, you Trey's brother. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you went to Union Academy? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh man, we know each other, blah blah blah. He was like a real cop. But anyway, the cop he came to help out that said that you're going to jail tonight, whatever. And then I was like, all right, I got you. Like he was just mouthing off at me. Anyway, I went and reported him. Come to find out that he had like a long rap sheet. They ended up getting rid of this officer because he had so many complaints and reports. So that goes to what DeAndre said. Look, even if you're doing everything right, all you got to do is just go tell somebody. And say, look, man, look what this dude did and said to me. That's all you got to do. And they got rid of that man, like completely got him off the force. And then the guy, once everything else was, situated, he's like, man, you handled the situation the right way. He's like, we got to do our job too. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. So I was wondering if, like, you could do something to help people, like, handle situations better, because a lot of times we don't know how to handle situations because for one reason, like how y'all said tonight, is that we get aggravated, we get irritated, especially down here in the South. I don't know how it is everywhere else, but I know sometimes now we get stopped. It's some counties down here, and y'all know we all stay in Georgia, so y'all know how I can get in. Somebody down in Cook County, Adel, or something. Oh man, it's terrible. But could you do something to show us how to properly handle situations? Make sure your hands are on the steering wheel when they get there, so you won't spook the officer. Because a lot of times they are trying to just do their job. Sometimes you have some that are young, might be scared. Well, I was wondering, DeAndre, if you could do something like that, something just to help people understand how they need to conduct themselves to make sure everybody stay calm.
Antoine, he actually planned on doing that tonight. We were gonna have a portion where, where he's gonna open it up, and any questions you have about any legal advice as far as like how to handle yourself and conduct yourself, you got all that. We're gonna do that tonight.
Oh, well, God is good then. God is great. That's awesome then. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All right. I'm just gonna let y'all know we have like maybe 2 more callers. Y'all want to take those callers? You want to wait and continue into the lesson? What do you want to do, guys?
Well, since ain't number 2, let's go ahead and wipe them out. But we'll try to keep it brief so I can go ahead and get this. Since there's only 2 of them.
All right. So let's go to 504-485. You're live in air.
How you doing, Sal? How the panel doing, Brother Josh and Brother DeAndre? I just want to say, first of all, I want to get a Brother DeAndre special thanks because there's not too many so-called black police officers that's out here, and when they can empathize with people, with their brothers, that's a good thing, man. So we definitely need more cops like you, but it's, Coming from my perspective, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, And, you know, I'm not going to say I did the right things coming up, but it's kind of hard because I've been in situations where, you know, cops lied on me. You know, several times. It was a situation where, like, if you ask for, like, their badge number or something, it's like they get real offended behind that. I've been brought deep in the woods by cops trying to intimidate me. So it's kind of hard. I've even, and, you know, I was selling drugs at this time. They've even, checked babies. Like, they'll pull up on the corner and check babies, check their diapers, their Pampers, and, you know, just from hanging out. So, I mean, it's kind of hard, but I was listening to your show this morning, The Mark of a True Believer, because I heard the sister mention it yesterday on Sal's show. That was a real good show yesterday. And, you know, that's how I'm just trying to take this lesson, you know, with the mark of a true believer, to have love, because there's been times where I've had cops help me, and I've been truly grateful. I think it's been few and far between. So basically the perspective I'm trying to take this lesson is how will we operate. You know, I'm listening to you brothers almost like explaining how we should operate as if we were in the times with Yahshua under Roman occupation. So that's how I'm kind of looking at it, you know, because me personally, I don't think they're my friends. I don't think they like me. I have family that's cops. I know they love me, and I know certain cops would look out for us. But on the whole, it's just kind of hard. So I kind of appreciate you brothers coming with this lesson and, you know, just trying to get us to look at calmer way. So that's all I want to say.
Okay, appreciate you, brother. Go ahead to the next caller, sir.
All right, let's take one more. It's a Skype caller. You're there.
Yes, I'm calling from Los Angeles. And I have a question for who's the brother that... No, it's not a prank call. It's a real call. Who is the brother the police officer?
LAPD, bro.
No. Who is the brother that's the one that's the police officer on the show? I think one brother's a cop on there.
Yeah, Aundrey, can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him. Yes, me.
Yeah, out here in Los Angeles, I've ran across sheriff deputies, LAPD, and none of them are no good. Whether they black, white, Mexican, Asian, none of them are no good. I think it's an illusion to think it's a good...
Oh, wait. So you've met every single LAPD officer to say none of them are no good. Every single
one. The ones I came across, I'm going on personal experience, brother. Can I finish?
But wait, bro. What we're trying to get you to understand is we're not saying that you didn't experience anything bad. We're not saying that you were completely innocent and people harassed you anyway. We're not saying it didn't happen. What we're saying is there are extremely corrupt police officers out there. But we as thinking people, we can't just label everybody the same based off of what a handful or even a whole lot of people did. That'll be like me saying because I had experience in L.A. with you as a black man and you did something bad to me, all black people in L.A. are corrupt or all black people are bad. You got to take it with the situation. If the cop, whatever cop did, whatever they did to you, if you were in the right, and I'm not here to play the blame game, I'll take your word up for it. If you say you were unlawfully harassed, then I believe you, brother. So I'm not here to side with any cops. I'm just saying that when you automatically, the premise is that all of them no good. No, that ain't. If you believe the Bible, you can't adopt that attitude. So before you come back on, my question to you is, do you believe the Bible? That's what we want to establish first. You can let it back on. I just want to throw that out there right quick before we get all off track.
Right. Is this the brother the cop, the one that's talking now?
No, I'm with the brother who's the cop. I'm with him.
So you're a police officer too, or?
No. But I have been harassed by the police before, like you, brother. So
okay. Well, I don't know how it is on. I think y'all from New York or Atlanta. I'm talking about California. I don't know how it is on the East Coast. I'm talking about out here the ones we ran across out here on the West Coast. They no good. But now wait a minute before you jump all over me. This is from my experience and people we know. The LAPD has had a history of being hard on Negroes. Ever since they migrated out here in the 40s and 50s, they've been on black people's behind.
True. I agree. That's why when you first said you called from L.A., I said, because I know about the LAPD, brother. That's why I said that. You thought I was saying that because it was a prank call. No, that's why I said, The moment you said L.A., I thought, LAPD, the most corrupt police department in the United States. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not against you. But
now I got a question for the brother that's the police officer. What's his name?
DeAndre. Mr. DeAndre, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a question for DeAndre, and I'm sure you know other black police officers. If we had a revolution to overthrow the government, would you black police officers get in our way? I just have my only question.
Say it again.
I heard him.
Ask that question again.
This is for the brother that's the police officer. If we had a revolution to overthrow the government, would you police officers get in our way, black cops, or would you get out of our way? I'm not saying we're gonna do this. I'm just asking a simple question.
Okay, bro. Brother Josh asked you a question. He asked you, did you believe in the Bible? Now, before I answer this question, I'm asking the same thing Josh asked you. Do you believe the Bible?
No, but now can you answer my question? No, but the answer is no, I don't.
No, actually, we can't. No, we're not asking your question.
Since you don't believe the Bible, brother, no, I cannot.
We have nothing to say to you. We have nothing to say to you, bro. Sorry. This is for Bible believers. I don't know if you were listening at the beginning, but we made it clear that from a Bible-believing perspective, this is how you're supposed to view the police. Now, I can answer your question, but not for no police officer. I can tell you this. If you try to overthrow the government, first of all, Mr. Aundrey ain't going to get in your way because he's retired. Second of all, I can guarantee you that if you try to do it, there will be black, white, and Hispanic police officers that will most definitely get in your way and shoot you dead. So if that's what you plan on doing or you just thinking about it or contemplating it, you better believe that the person holding that gun that's going to try to stop you is not necessarily going to be the same color you are. It's going to be them, white, black. So whatever you plan on doing, bro, good luck with that. But I can tell you this. If you try to overthrow the government, only thing that's going to happen to you is you and everybody who with you going to end up dead. Because unless you packing more power than the United States military, because when they call the National Guard, that's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Once they say call in the National Guard, that's a wrap. So, no, Mr. Aundrey, I can speak for him on that because the brother retired. Now, if your revolution start on his front porch, he most definitely going to get in the way. You know what I'm saying? But if you just going to do that thing, no, the man retired. He ain't going to do that. But we can go back to the class now. Appreciate the brother calling in because we want all perspectives. We really do. But if you don't believe in the Bible, then this class ain't for you. This is for believers, That's all that is. We still love you, though, brother. No disrespect. But, Sal, we ready when you ready.
All right, yeah, you can go ahead with the class. You can go ahead. It's cool.
Okay. And y'all got to understand this, man. Let me tell y'all something. I am enjoying the heck out of this class. I ain't had this much fun in a long time. Y'all got to understand this. This is a fun class. I love interactions. I know that. But we're going to keep this thing moving on. What I'm going to do, Mr. Aundrey, I'm going to have you go to Deuteronomy 4. But before I go there, I'm going to go to my favorite dictionary, Webster New World Dictionary of the American Language, because we've been talking about police and sheriffs. So I say we look up the word to see what it really means to be a police. And I understand, y'all got to understand, we sympathize with y'all, right? Minister DeAndre, I reached out to this brother because he's been on both sides of the law. He's been the criminal and he's been the cop. He's been both. We're not sitting up here trying to trick y'all and think, all the cops your friend. No. All we're trying to get you to do is you keep yourself in line within the confines of the law. Don't wild out like the brother who called in said, when you are arrested, that is not the time to try to fight the police when you're being arrested.
Exactly.
You don't do that. I'm trying to teach you something that's going to save your life. You know what I'm saying? The other brother called in, he talking about a revolution. Y'all know blood going to be shed if you talking about a revolution. Somebody finna die. That brother's telling you right there, look, some people finna die. It ain't going to be like, we just going to revolt against the United States government and we ain't going to have no casualties. No, y'all dying too. Me and Mr. Aundrey ain't here to preach nothing that involves y'all dying in the end. You know what I'm saying? We ain't here for that, man. We're trying to preserve life and peace and trying to help you, like Aundrey said, get back home to your family, safe and sound. Like the brother who called in said, get back home to your family, safe and sound. And if you are a servant of the Most High, then that's the mindset you're supposed to have. You know, no disrespect to the brother. That's his philosophy, revolutionist philosophy. You know, you go half at it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to have to pull, I don't know if y'all ever seen Barbershop 2. You know, with Cedric Entertainer, they had that flashback, and they was in the barbershop, and they were talking about all that black power, and Cedric Entertainer was with them until they started saying, and some of us going to get shot too. And then soon they left, he's like, that fool crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's my attitude when it comes to revolution. I ain't trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's his business. This is police, right? I want y'all to pay attention to this because this is rooted in how we're supposed to carry ourselves. The biggest mistake that they make, Aundrey, is thinking that a police is only an official title. No, a police is a description of a servant of the Most High. And I'm going to show y'all that now. This is police. It says it's from the Greek politeia. And it says the state of polities, citizen, and it comes from the word polis, which means city. That's why, you know, police always associate with the city. But listen to this definition. Definition 1, the regulation of morals, safety, etc. It's that the regulations of morals, safety, etc. Regulate means to, like, rules. And enforcing rules. It's that the police is supposed to regulate morals. That means they're supposed to be about morality. Right. Don't that sound like a servant of the Most High? Right. We're supposed to be about morals. See, what people have done, they've turned the word police into a bad name. Right. They made it a dirty word. Ooh, the police. The definition means somebody who regulates morals and safety. But you don't hear nobody defining what it really means to be a police officer, right? But look what else it says. It says law enforcement. We already know this, right? Definition 2. The governmental department of a city, state, etc. Listen to this. Still definition 2. For keeping order and preventing of detecting crime. It says what a police officer is supposed to do is prevent crimes. Crime is a legal term, but the spiritual equivalent for the word crime is sin. Sin, exactly. So a police officer or a moral police, we're supposed to prevent sin. Why do you think Minister DeAndre and myself is even doing this lesson together? We're trying to prevent you from sinning. See, I'm a police myself. I'm not a legal police, but I'm a spiritual police. Minister DeAndre is a literal and spiritual police. And see, that's what people don't get. We make police police, cop, bad. No, look up the word. Do all police officers live up to the definition? No. So they don't make the word itself bad.
Do all teachers live up to their title? No.
Nope.
Do all cooks live up to their title? No.
Nope.
Do all bus drivers live up to their title? No.
No. It's an occupation.
Thank
you. Just like any other job. But that don't mean you're doing your job. You follow what I'm saying? But you can't, just because if a bunch of bus drivers start doing stuff bad, you can't hate the title of bus driver because they ain't got nothing to do with that. And you can't hate all bus drivers. If you got a problem with the police, have a problem with the crooked ones. That's who you're supposed to have a problem with. Don't hate the police force in general, because as a servant of God, that is a sin for you to make what is known in literature as a hasty generalization. That means to quickly generalize a whole group of people based on things that some or most of that group has done. That's why I asked the brother, have you met every single L.A. police officer? Of course he hasn't. So you can't say logically or honestly every last one of them is no good. Right. We're smart people, sisters and brothers. I'm not going to let somebody tell me everybody in Forest Park, well, Minister DeAndre grew up. That's a rough area. So everybody out there evil and wicked and they'll steal from you. That might be true for some or even most. But everybody out there not like that. Right. And we got to be smart enough to say That ain't the case. You can't just say everybody. That's a narrow-minded way of thinking. And I know a lot of us have been abused, especially the older head, black people, by police officers. So that's going to make anybody automatically suspect a guy walking up in a uniform. Now, there's nothing wrong with suspecting them if you have a history of the police harassing you for no reason. But even the brother that called in before the last brother said he was selling drugs. So you wasn't no saint, bro. And I'm not trying to be funny, but if you telling me you selling drugs or you in an area ridden with crime and you just hanging, then what are they supposed to think? You know what I'm saying? What would you think if you were them? Let's be honest. We can't be all of us are not just innocent victims. If I'm selling drugs, the police supposed to be trying to get me. You know, within the confines of the law. But keep in mind that by selling drugs, you taking the risk of that police officer doing his job and some. You follow what I'm saying? So I say just don't sell the drugs. You feel what I'm saying? But this is what it says right here.
And stay out of the drug zones.
Stay out the drug zone if you can. You may have to cross through it to get to where you're going, but don't linger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't loiter. You know what I'm saying? But definition 3, it says construed as plural, the members of such a department. Definition 4, in the U.S. Army, the act of maintaining order or cleanliness in the camp. Like you mentioned the Army and the military, Minister. It says, and the soldiers charged to do with this. But listen to this. Definition 1, as a verb, to control, protect, etc., with police or the like, as police the street. It says to control and protect the like. That's what the police is supposed to do, maintain order and control and protect people. Now, Minister Aundrey, have you read anything in here, in this definition, that you don't like?
Not one single thing.
All this stuff is good. So why are we trying to make the police a bad thing? No, it's not the police in itself. There's certain people with that title who are not living up to the standard of the title.
There you go.
But we don't want to turn around and just throw everybody under the bus because that's not right. Because now you are a hypocrite. Because you just got through saying you mad at the police because they profiling you and you ain't done nothing. Well, you profiling the police.
There you go.
Because you saying all of them bad and all of them ain't done nothing to you. They profiling you, you profiling them. You're a hypocrite. Don't tell me I can't stand the police. Why? Because a lot of police officers did this to me. Well, a lot of black people been committing crimes in certain areas. So they're profiling you, and you're mad about that. All black people not criminals. How dare you? But then you want to profile the police, and you don't even see the hypocrisy in that. You ain't got the audacity to turn around and say you're a servant of the Most High.
Yep.
A hypocrite has nothing coming in the kingdom of the Most High. Nothing. We don't become what we hate. We can't be that way. But turn to Deuteronomy 4 for me. I want you to read something for me. Now that we know what it means for police. We got to stop all this, man. I mean, we got to stop trying to pretend like, that's why we ask, like, that's why Minister Aundrey asked. And like I said, if you're going to call in and tell about your personal experience with the police, we want to hear it. We do. But when we ask questions, and so far everybody been doing it, be honest about the situation and the circumstances under which you were allegedly harassed. You know, because, like, except for Antoine was like, he didn't do nothing. Other than that, everybody else been like, I was selling drugs, I was in a crime neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? But even Antoine said that there were areas where the police people impersonating the police and pulling people over. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't want us to be a people of believers where we profile people. Let them do it. Right. We're not supposed to do that.
Right.
We're supposed to be better than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not profiling anybody. I'm not going to hate a whole group based on what some people did. My problem is with the people who did it to me and them alone.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be. We got to stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? This is, at the time of ancient Israel, like the brother said, like it's like you're trying to get us to view this on how the Israel was under the Roman government. This is exactly what it is today. The police are the modern-day centurions, bro.
It is.
That's what you're dealing with. The word of God is eternal. It stretches over to our time, too. It's the same concept. They were the police back then. These are the police today. But the rules to the game have not changed. You still got to conduct yourself in a way conducive of a servant of God. You can't just be out here wilding out and then turn around like, oh, I'm a Christian, or I'm a Messianic Hebrew, or I believe in Yah, or I believe in Yahuwah. And you saying all this stuff and you out here selling drugs, doing illegal activity, smoking weed. I know a lot of y'all Hebrews smoke weed. Yeah, I'm putting you out there. I ain't calling no names because I don't know nobody personally. But I know a lot of Hebrew camps have going on the record saying they smoke weed. I ain't talking about your habit. I ain't getting into that. We both know that unless you got a prescription for that, for the most part in the United States, that's illegal. You're not obeying the law. So if the police come busting up in your house because they suspect you're dealing with illegal narcotics, don't try to, oh, the police crooked. We got to be honest with ourselves, man, because we love to play the victim when it comes to the police. And then we turn around, well, yeah, I was selling a little reefer, but, you know, what you think? That's his job. But this is Deuteronomy 4. Read verses 1 and 2. Like I said, I'm having fun. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 4 and 1. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and judgments which I teach you for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which Yahuwah Elohim of your fathers give you. I'm reading from the Sefer.
That's cool.
Verse number 2. You shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall you diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of Yahuwah your Elohim, which I command you.
That you may keep the commandments of Yahuwah your Elohim that I have commanded you. Now, know what he said. Don't add to it. Don't take away from it. Now, watch what happens, Minister DeAndre, when you look up the word translated keep in this verse. And it is Hebrew 8104 in the Hebrew section, like I said. And the word is shamar. And it says it's a primitive root properly to hedge about as with thorns, that is, guard, generally to protect. Attend to. Go back to your dictionary. You can't forget what you read. The verb for police, not the noun, the verb, right? To control, protect, etc. So, Minister DeAndre, I want you to read the same thing you just read, but instead of keep, insert the word police there. Read it out there. Same book, but put the word police there because that's what police means, to protect. And that's what that word means in the Hebrew. Protect. Read that, please, but put police there.
You shall not add unto the word which I command you. You neither shall diminish aught from it, that ye may protect the commandments of Yahuwah your Elohim, which I command you.
Now read it again and put police right there because that's what police means in a verb. Because the police can be used as a verb. Now, you read that last part, put police right now.
That ye may police the commandments of Yahuwah your Elohim.
That you may police the commandments. He's telling you the job of the entire nation of Israel were to be police officers of the Most High's Torah. Now, it says you may police. Now, check this out. When we go back to the word police as a noun, look what it says for definition 1. The regulation of morals. Didn't it tell you that the Torah contains a bunch of morals? You know what that means? What's considered right and what's considered wrong. He's telling you that you are supposed to police the command. I mean, you're supposed to uphold the moral standards of the Most High Torah.
Exactly.
All of Israel was supposed to be the world's police. You think the word police is a bad name? You're supposed to be a police. You're supposed to be a cop. Because that's what it means. Somebody who's regulating a moral standard and upholding it. But you're mad because some people who wear the title have corrupted themselves.
So Josh, let me ask you a question. So are you saying that the nation of Israel should have been protecting and serving?
Exactly. Protecting and serving. Protecting the word of God, serving the Most High, and being a minister to all the nations, teaching them about the Most High.
Wow.
Protecting and serving. Right there in your Torah, the very definition of what a police officer is supposed to be. Protect and serve. Protect and serve. And all day long, you got people, oh, I'm a minister. You don't even know that minister means a servant, somebody who serves. So when you say a police officer is supposed to protect and serve, you can say they're supposed to keep and minister or protect and minister. Police officers are ministers.
Wow.
That's what it means to minister. People got it twisted. A minister, it's just a title of a preacher. No, it's not. That word minister means to serve. So let me get something straight, Minister Aundrey. You got a guy who's supposed to uphold a moral standard and protect and serve the people. What is that? What is that, a servant of God? No, that's the police. But nobody want to look up these words. They want to believe the propaganda. They want to believe the conspiracy campaign, the smear campaign. Against the police. They want to make all police officers bad. That's the problem that the brother had. That's why the first thing he said, I don't believe the Bible. What I'm shocked about, though, and no disrespect to the brother, but what I'm shocked about, Aundrey, is why the brother want to call in on the show that everybody named Mama can see is Bible-oriented. You got a brother on here named Minister DeAndre. So you know you're dealing with somebody talking about this Bible. His name ain't Atheist DeAndre. His name ain't Revolutionary DeAndre. It's Minister DeAndre. So why would you call in on a Bible-based show asking questions and you don't believe in the Bible? No disrespect. That's all I want to know. I don't call in no atheist show asking atheistic questions because I don't care about what they talking about. They don't believe in the Most High. The end. I have nothing to ask you. You know? But let's move on. Let's go to John chapter 14.
John 14.
See, we don't even know what the word police means. And it's psychology, sister and brother. They want you to associate it with something negative, something you don't like. And yes, there are a lot of corrupt ones. We ain't trying to pretend like, all the police officers are your friend. We're not saying that. But you don't supposed to conduct yourselves in the presence of the police as if they're your enemy because they can sense that hostile behavior and attitude, and it makes them nervous. Like the brother said, the white officer that pulled him over, he could tell he was nervous. And the brother didn't even say he was acting any kind of way. The guy showed up at the scene nervous the moment he thought it was a black guy. So if you know you're dealing with somebody like that, why would you escalate the situation by putting them on air, by shouting at them, being belligerent, being defiant? Why would you do that?
Did you see, brother, when we was in the book of Acts, did we see Paul when he was arrested unjustly? Did you see Paul and Silas acting crazy?
No, sir.
Did we read anything about the apostles acting crazy when they were thrown in jail?
No, sir. Okay. We didn't read anything about Peter and the other apostles acting crazy when they got put in jail either, did we?
Nope.
But we all claim we serve the God, but we want to deal with the police how we want to deal with the police. We don't want to deal with the police how our Lord and Savior dealt with the police or how his disciples dealt with the police. We want to deal with the police the way we want to. We want to view them the way we want to view them. But then we want to hypocritically turn around and say, but we about that truth. No, you're not. If you ain't trying to view the police the same way that the apostles and the Mashiach viewed them, then you are not a true servant of the Most High. And if you just happen to be a Tanakh only Hebrew, we just got through reading Deuteronomy. That's in the Tanakh. So you're supposed to be a police officer. And I got to give respect to ISUPK because they picked up on this concept. That's why they call a lot of their members Captain this, Officer that. They understand that police thing involved in that. That's why they gave them these military type titles. They can see that. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give props to them for peaking game on that a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? But too many people want to try to act like, they're all bad. No. I am intelligent. Minister DeAndre is intelligent. We don't make hasty generalizations. I'm not going to judge a whole group of people based off of something some or most people do. You know what that's called? That's called prejudice. And black people being victims of prejudice should know what it feels like more than anybody. And that's how your Bible teaches you to view abuse. That's why when he brought the children of Israel up out of Egypt, he said, thou shalt not vex an Egyptian because you were in slavery to the Egyptians. In other words, you personally know what it feels like to be in a strange land and be discriminated against and abused. So don't do it to nobody else. Our God tells us to sympathize with people. When we've gone through something, don't do it to somebody else because you know what it feels like. But what do we do as black people? We've been profiled, so let's start profiling ourselves. No. No, no, no. Y'all ain't learning nothing from this book if that's your attitude. It has nothing to do with what you've been through. Every police officer that ever did you wrong, that police officer was wrong. But do not try to make his partner or his sergeant or anybody else in another precinct guilty because they bear the title police. Because if that's the case, you're going to be mad if they start labeling all people who go under the title Hebrews as terrorists and they start locking you up. We ain't even doing nothing. It don't matter. You're a Hebrew. See, now you're mad. It's not fair, is it? No, it ain't fair. But you're doing the same thing. But John 14 and 15. Like I said, this is fun to me. I love it, though. I love it. Read this, please. This is Mashiach. Read that, please. John 14 and 15. Read that.
If you love me, keep my commandments.
That's pretty clear, right? But see, we think, Aundrey, when they say keep, and he's talking to his disciples and by extension all Messianic believers, we think keep means just obey or follow. We're going to see something. Now go to John 15 and read one verse 10.
15 and 10. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love.
Now, see, again, when we read this, we think it means what? Follow, obey, and it does because that's related to it. But we're going to go to the Strong's Exalted Concordance once again, and we're going to look up the word translated keep. And it's 5083 in the Greek section. Now, listen to this, minister. The word is tereo, and look what it means. So this comes over to the New Testament too. It says from teros, a watch perhaps akin to G2334. Look what it says. To guard from loss or injury properly by keeping the eye upon. Wait a minute. To guard from loss or injury? That's what the disciples were instructed by Jesus to do concerning the commandment. His commandment. To guard from loss or injury. Isn't that exactly what a police officer is supposed to do? To protect you from loss or injury? Loss is theft, and injury is physical harm to you, right? So he's telling the disciples to police his commandments. They're supposed to be the police, the spiritual police.
Yep.
Y'all can see that the word is rooted in morality and regulating laws and protecting and guarding people, keeping things under control, keeping things in order. Didn't Paul say God is not the author of confusion?
What did he say?
He's not the author of confusion. That means he believes in law and order. Only thing the Hebrew Israelites want to believe in is law. They don't want to believe in the order part, though.
Right.
They just believe in law. No, not good enough. You are supposed to be the police. But let me show you something else, right? Let's go to 1 John. You don't nobody want to deal with this stuff, though, minister. Now, they don't want to deal with this. Everybody want to pretend like we just supposed to hate the police by the term. We call them all kinds of derogatory, the fuzz, the po-po, pigs. Even the Bible used swine, which is a pig, to define the lowest of people. It said, don't cast your pearls among the swine.
Right.
So when you call a police officer a pig, automatically, you are automatically lowering him to that label. You don't even know nothing about this police officer, but you want to make him a swine. But then you call yourself a servant of God. Then you turn around and say, I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? They profiling me. They doing me so wrong. You know what I'm saying? They are abusing my rights. But you know what? At the end of the day, you doing the same thing. But we can't be hypocrites, sisters and brothers. We can't do that.
Can't do it.
We got to be about our Father's business. That's why when the centurion approached the Messiah, and do some research on centurions, most of them were as corrupt as the LAPD. They were corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Most of them. But never once do you see any other disciples profiling them.
Not once.
Not one time. Y'all talking about, I'm mad at the police because they took me out of a car and slammed me down on the ground for no reason. You know what? That was wrong. There's no justification for that. But go back to ancient Israel where Romans centurions were kicking open your door and going illegally through your personal belongings and just stealing from you. And you had nobody to complain or cry to.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, knowing that background, the Mashiach and his disciples still did not profile them. They still did it on a person-to-person basis. That's what you're supposed to do.
Because they understood vengeance is who?
Allahim, or Most High, or God.
Exactly.
They understood that. You know? So we have to understand this stuff. We can't be playing games like this. I hate all cops. First of all, you're supposed to hate nobody. So you already done messed up. Y'all know that scene from Minister Society. Y'all know I like to use movies. I ain't going to say the curse word, but you know what he said. See, you don't messed up. You already don't mess up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Coming out the gate, you're supposed to hate nobody.
Exactly.
Well, all police are the enemies. Then the Mashiach say, love your enemies. If you think they're the enemy, you still got to love them.
Oh, man.
So I got you no matter which avenue you try to take. Well, I don't believe in that New Testament. I only to not only Proverbs. If your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he's thirsty, give him something to drink. You can't run when you're dealing with us, y'all.
Oh, man.
We're going to police you. That's what we're going to do. We're going to police you. So I don't want to hear none of that. Too many people in their feelings, minister, they don't want to deal with this book as it's written. You in your feelings.
I'm not laughing at nobody. I'm laughing at how solid this word is. Like he said, you cannot escape nowhere, no kind of shape, way, form. You can't escape nothing.
You can't.
You can't. It's all covered. It's ironclad, as they say. Old folks say. You can't escape.
Ain't no getting away.
Ain't no getting away.
Ain't no getting away. You can't run from this stuff, right? But this is 1 John chapter 5 verse 1 to 3.
1 John 5 1 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Whosoever believes that Yahushua is Hamashiach is born of Elohim, everyone that loves him, that begotten loves him, also that is begotten of him.
Mm-hmm.
2. By this we know that we love the children of Elohim when we love Elohim and keep his commandments.
And that word keep, same word, 5083, when we guard, protect from loss or injury, or in other words, when we police his commandments. See, a lot of folks don't even know, man, that police is a verb too. They think it's just a title or a noun. No, it's a verb too. It's an action word.
Mm-hmm.
And it means to protect something, to guard something from loss or injury.
Right.
All of the disciples were spiritual police officers.
Again, back to like I said, that's why it's on the car. You'll see
exactly.
on police cars, serving with honor, protect and serve.
Protect and serve, or protect and minister.
Mm.
That's what that means.
That's what it means.
Look up the word minister. Do I need, you know what? Let's just do it. Because we can. We're going to look up the word minister. This wasn't even part of the original notes that I had. But just because we keep saying it, just in case somebody just happened to be tuning in right now and they ain't heard us say it, then we'll look it up. This is what the word minister means. Because we tend to forget that. We don't even know what certain things, minister. Look what it says. They're going to get a definition. This is from Latin, minister. A servant.
A what, John?
A servant. That's what it means. And then it evolved to mean a title. But the original definition of minister means a servant or somebody who serves. So to protect and serve, to protect and minister. What are you protecting? You're protecting and guarding the people, but you're also protecting the moral standard that we are supposed to be upholding. That sounds like a servant of the Most High to me. Then we look at the word sheriff, to keep the peace. Then we read, blessed are the peacemakers. So that means everybody that's really doing their job, the righteous police, as Aundrey said, it said, blessed are the peacemakers, or blessed are the sheriffs,
mm-hmm.
because they are the children of Elohim, or the children of God.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it said. But you're going to tell me all cops in the LAPD, they corrupt. So ain't none of them the children of God? All of them wicked? Every last one of them? You don't met, hung out with all of them. You don't kicked it with them. You don't put your foot up on their couch. You don't went to the club with them. For you to say every single one of them, it's hundreds of people out there in the police department.
Mm-hmm.
But every last one of them, that type of thinking, sisters and brothers, that's what get us killed.
Yep.
That's what gets you killed. That's what makes you come home and you see that yellow tape around your house.
And the very thought, just a thought now, well, so is man thinking, so is his heart. So the very thought of you talking about overthrowing the government, you're on a suicide mission.
Exactly. You're on a suicide mission. You know, that's just the truth. And you know the irony about this is, minister, is the fact that the brother about overthrowing the government and the Hebrew Israelites leading up to 70 AD tried the same thing with the Roman government and got annihilated.
Exactly.
History repeats itself. He asked you, are you going to stand in the way? Mr. Aundrey retired. He chilling. As long as the revolution don't come on his front porch, you ain't got to worry about Mr. Aundrey.
You got that right.
But I guarantee you this, he still got some fellow officers on that force that's going to be out there ready to shoot your crazy butt down if you try to run up to a revolution. No, I ain't trying to tell y'all that like that. I ain't trying to stir y'all up to do some old crazy mess so the government can be watching you and knocking on your front door and snatching you up out your house. We don't supposed to be teaching y'all that anyway. We trying to teach you practical stuff. We trying to teach you stuff that ain't going to get you locked up, get you hurt, get you killed.
Exactly.
Having your family got to go down and identify your body. That's the stuff we're trying to teach you. This is stuff we need to know. And a lot of this rhetoric that y'all be hearing, even if it's coming from people that's not specifically telling you to go do anything illegal against the police, they are stirring up hatred toward the police in general in your heart. So you're going to be getting pulled over one day, and it may be something you didn't even do. You don't even know why they're pulling you over. But all you're going to remember is all that rhetoric you've been hearing about, hate the police, hate the police. And he's going to ask you something, and you're going to trip, you're going to trigger. Next thing you know, you're going to be in the back of that police car.
Exactly.
Or stretched out dead on that street.
Exactly.
Because that's part of the conspiracy. They want you to get locked up and killed. That's why the country community hate the police, hate the police. Yeah, but you know what? You know what's so funny? All this hate and animosity and bang on the beat that they all saying, but you know, all y'all walking around free. Ain't none of y'all in jail.
The same one that's planting these negative seeds in your head, like you said.
Exactly.
When that
so they walking around free.
They walk around free, and then you go to being obstructive. You're obstructing the officer from doing his job. Now either you're going to jail or you dead, and then now here comes your Black Lives Matter movement, which I think is a hypocritical movement on the planet.
That is that is the biggest crock ever concerning black people. All the black on black crime we've been having, and ain't nobody saying nothing about no Black Lives Matter. But when the police kill some people, now Black Lives Matter. I get it. I hear you loud and clear. Black lives only matter when somebody else other than ourselves kill each other.
Exactly.
Killing us. Then Black Lives Matter. But when nobody saying Black Lives Matter, the brother talking about from L.A., I'm calling for L.A. Last time I checked, that is a heavy gang-infested area, Los Angeles. But he calling in mad at the police. He ain't saying nothing about the Crips and the Blood, though.
That's where it started at in L.A.
I'm just saying, though, they killing people, too. In fact, I guarantee you that the Crips and Blood don't kill more people than LAPD has.
I guarantee you, too.
And this ain't nothing against them, but I'm saying, how you going to be mad at them but not mad at them? I don't want nobody getting killed by anybody, sisters and brothers. That's what we trying to tell y'all. I ain't trying to harass the gangs, and I ain't trying to harass the police. But don't pretend like you see one but don't see the other. That's all I'm saying. That's why that Black Lives Matter stuff is the biggest bunch of bull I ever came across in my life. Now Black Lives Matter. All y'all trying to do is monetize something that unjustly happened to a hand group of black people. That's all y'all trying to do, monetize off of that. But if Black Lives really matter, y'all should have been around since like the early 60s and 70s, because that's when that stuff really started stepping out. We really killing each other like that. How the world Black Lives Matter is a millennial concept? How is that just now popping up now? When it's been going on for like 40 years. for a decade. Get out of here, man. Like I said, I'm telling it like it is, y'all. I want y'all to think. Don't get caught up in the propaganda and the rhetoric. Be honest with yourself. Did he really pull me over just because I'm black? Or did he pull me over because I was riding on 24-inch rims, banging my music real loud? That don't mean you're a criminal. But let's be honest. Now, this is a question for you, Mr. DeAndre. Isn't that typically what drug dealers do to their cars?
That's typically what they do.
That's typically what they do. You don't see too many black men who got a job, work for IBM, driving around on 24-inch rims.
Right.
And his car lime green. Like I said, I ain't got no problem with that, do you? But don't act like you ain't drawing attention. You trying to draw attention. You driving around in a car with 24-inch rims. It look like a monster truck, and the car painted lime green. You mean to tell me you ain't trying to get somebody attention?
And the music is loud, and it's reeking of marijuana.
You know what I'm saying? You smoking so much marijuana, the police get a contact high just pulling you over.
And you got 4 other Negroes in the car with you.
Exactly. That look like they are of shady character. Come on, man.
Hey, man, it's
This is the police. This is the police talking, y'all. I'm talking, Mr. DeAndre. This is the police.
That's something I'm tell y'all something. When I was in the hood, even when I did have my car fixed up, I never, I'm trying to hear me emphatically say, never rode 4 deep in my car. You know why? First of all, I'm black. I'm in zone 3. I got a car with rims on it and music in it. And I'm going to ride in the car with 4 Negroes in the car with me? Come on, man. That's 4. I got the odds stacked against me. That's 4 no-nos.
Mm-hmm.
No. Then, the Negroes in the car with me, somebody normally going to have some paraphernalia on them. Most likely, somebody that you hang around. You know good and well, in your circle, you hang around somebody who's selling drugs or using drugs. You know that you hang with these people.
You know it.
But you got them in your car. You hanging around them, and you saying they profiling me. Well,
and you got priors. And you got priors, too.
And you got priors. And you in a drug zone. You're not passing through to catch the bus. You are lingering or loitering in the drug area. That's called loitering.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, guys.
But I'm saying that they need to hear this from the police, though. Because we ain't looking at this through the eyes of the police. All we want to do is be a race of victims. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we have to be honest with it. Now, like I said, we ain't here to tell you that, there are no innocent black people. No. What we're saying is, I was selling drugs. But, dude, already you wrong. You were selling drugs. Come on. Already.
I'm going to put it like this. I'm gonna try to be bounced with this. I'm going to keep it 1,000.
Go ahead. Only way to keep it.
9 times out of 10,
when
the police done pulled a black guy over, 9 times out of 10, they in violation. 9 times out of 10.
That's right.
9 times out of 10, they are in violation of the law in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And I'm just being straight up honest with you. And I'm telling you that the standpoint of before I became an officer and after I became an officer. Because, like I said, I've been pulled over by the police plenty of times. And guess what? Not one time have I been locked up. Guess why? Because my insurance was on point, and I was very diplomatic with the officer. Yes, sir. No, sir.
It's funny that you mentioned that word diplomatic, because guess what? That's one of the words we're going to be looking up today. Diplomatic. And I was just about to go there. We're going to page 213.
Let's do it.
And I did not even say this to him beforehand. It's just a word that happened to come out of his mouth. It's page 213 in my favorite dictionary. Look at this. This is 213. Look what it says for diplomatic. And we're going to break it all the way down. It says diplomatic, definition 1, of or connected with diplomacy. Definition 2,
tactful and adroit in dealing with people. Now, most of y'all don't know what adroit means, and I don't know what adroit means either when I first looked at this. So we're going to look at the word adroit. Same dictionary, and I forgot to write down the page number, but I know how to use a dictionary, so we good. Adroit. And it's spelled A-D-R-O-I-T. And I ain't got number like two more for y'all after this. Adroit. Listen to this. It says, from Latin, directus, see direct, it means skillful and clever. But the definition of the diplomatic means, it says adroit when it comes with dealing with people. That means skillful and clever when it comes to dealing with people. So Minister DeAndre was very adroit with the officers who pulled them over. You got to use it in the sentence, you'll remember it better. Right. He was very diplomatic. See, we don't understand this stuff. We don't want to be diplomatic. We don't want to be adroit. We want to be irate. You follow what I'm saying? And then you pull out that pepper spray, and now you're in the back of the car, now you pepper spray, and now you got to get burned out and all this necessary stuff.
And if you've never been hit with that stuff before, oh, my goodness, feel like your face done went to hell. Just your face. Just your face. I know because I've been sprayed with it in Monday school. That stuff feel like your skin is rolling off of your face. That's how oh, my goodness.
And it's not worth it. All we trying to tell you is that there is a conspiracy, a smear campaign going on, and it's mostly among black people, to make us view the police automatically in a negative way so we can act accordingly. And that conspiracy is designed to get your butt killed or locked up.
Yep.
That's what it is. And the people who are pushing it is the black conscious communities, a lot of the black Hebrews. Not all of them, but a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? They want you to feel like you're a victim even when you're in the wrong. Even when stuff come out on the news where the person that just got locked up, he was wrong. He was selling meth. He was selling cheese or cocaine. You still see the black people sitting by. I can't stand the police. He was clearly wrong. But you still hate the police? He's a drug dealer. He's ruining our community. You ain't never seen a crack house? You ain't never seen a crack mother? You ain't never seen a crack baby? I saw all this stuff growing up. There's nothing good about a crack dealer. Nothing. And you mad at the police because he's trying to get him up out of there. I don't see women sell their food stamps. The government issued funds used to feed their kids. I don't see them sell their food stamps to crack dealers for some crack and the baby going home. But I'm mad at the guy who's trying to put an end to that, though, Aundrey. That's what I'm mad at. I'm not mad at the crack dealer. I'm mad at the police trying to get him up out of there. We don't know what we want. You know what I mean? Be mad at the corrupt cops, sisters and brothers, and other people who are breaking the law. But don't be mad at everybody.
They know they want to have their cake and eat it too.
Exactly.
They want to have their cake and eat it too. And it ain't going out like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have your
and that's what the Most High always said about Israel. We've always been a nation of hypocrites.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? No. If you don't like being ask any black person, you like being profiled? No. Then that same black person will turn around and say, all police officers are wicked. That's profiling right now. Don't become what you hate. That's all we're saying. But check this out. Let's show you some diplomacy here in action. Turn to Luke chapter 11. I ain't going to keep y'all much longer. Y'all get it. Y'all with me.
Just trying to tell y'all, when you encounter the police, exercise some fruits of, where your fruits of the spirit at? Servants? Believers?
Exactly.
Don't you know a lot of times a police officer will be going to give you a ticket for speed is just because of your diplomatic approach.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are respectful, he or she may tell you, go ahead and just slow it down this time, all right?
Exactly.
Because you guess what? He got that authority to give you that ticket or give you a pass.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to him or her. They can give you that ticket or tell you, you know what, slow it down. I'm going to give you a warning this time.
Exactly.
But because of your foul attitude, now you done got a ticket you're probably going to go to jail because you're obstructing, or I done pulled you over. And let me make this point. Guess what the most violent cause officers were killed on? I'm going to put that out there for y'all. Somebody who called in when we finished the class.
Mm-hmm.
Most officers were killed on 2 calls. That was somebody out there telling me what that is when they call in. If you
right.
2 calls.
We'll let them tell you. Mm-hmm. Luke 11, 52 to 54.
11 what now?
Luke 11, verse 52 to 54.
Okay. 52 to 54. And 52 reads, "Woe to you, lawyers, for you have taken away the key of knowledge. You enter not in yourselves, and them that were entering in ye hindered."
Now, this is him talking to the Pharisees and the doctors of the law, the ones who knew the laws of Israel. These are supposed to be the real police, right? But he said, "For ye have taken away the key of knowledge. You enter not in yourselves into the kingdom." You can read that in Matthew 23 and 13 in the cross reference. And those that would enter in, you hinder.
Mm-hmm.
Read verse 53, please.
"And he said these things unto them. The scribes and the Pharisees began to urge him vehemently and to provoke him to speak of many things, laying wait for him and seeking to catch something out of his mouth that they might accuse him."
See, they were trying to get him to lose his diplomacy. Become irate, say something that's going to get him in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
See, you got to understand, sometimes people who are in power, they will do that. Like Antoine mentioned the police officer that was trying to say stuff to him like, you going to jail tonight. You going to jail tonight. This is exactly what the Pharisees were trying to do to Jesus. They were trying to get him to lose his temper or to say something that was going to get him in trouble so he could end up getting locked up by the Roman government. But our Mashiach was wise. He didn't fall for that. That's why I said seeking to catch something out of his mouth that they might accuse him. I mean, to charge him with some kind of crime. You're going to deal with people like that. There are going to be police officers that are going to try to provoke you to say things that will get you in trouble. So do you become irate, lose your temper, and go to jail? Lose your temper and go to jail, or do you practice some temperance?
Or temperance, do you practice that fruit called meekness?
Meekness. Don't give them an excuse, sisters and brothers, because there's some out there looking for an excuse. Mr. Deontay keeping it real. He know some of his fellow officers, maybe not necessarily in his precinct, but he know other police officers. They are not all good officers. He know what they'll do.
And I can give you a story. I had a couple of coworkers that always would, have a disposition with the public, that was, and I would pull to the side. Hey, brother, listen, man, you ain't always got to be so hard, man, on the people. When you're talking to these people, man, you got to think about it. Picture yourself. I always had to put yourself in their shoes. If you was the civilian and they were the officer, would you want them to come off at you like that? They know you got the authority. They see you with the pistol in the bag. You ain't got a flunix. You know what I'm saying? Just talk to the people like normal people.
Exactly. The way you want to be addressed.
And then next thing you know, they done went up to the sheriff's officer and then told the sheriff, this particular officer, now you're in OPS because you're getting all these complaints on you. Let me tell you something about that pen, sister, bro. That pen is a powerful weapon.
Yeah. And you know what they call that? They doing that in diplomacy. That's dealing with matters wise and in a clever way. Like the brother called in. When you're getting arrested, that is not the time to fight the police.
Not the time.
Antoine pointed that out, too. He said he went to complain. Turned out that guy had a rap sheet longer than the Nile River. And they got rid of him. But what good is it going to do you to fight the guy? You're outgunned. You're outnumbered. And then you get killed. They still might end up getting him for what he did, but you gone. Now, your family got to figure out how to, manage without you. Now you sitting around at the funeral. Now your family sitting around at the funeral. Your wife or your significant other. If he only would have just controlled his temper. That's all she gonna keep saying over and over. Yeah, she gonna be mad at the police too. But if she's witnessing how you are out of control, because most women who got sense, If they see their husband getting out of control, baby, calm down. Come on, baby. Be quiet. Come on. You know, most women, they'll try to calm the man down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he just going out of control, and then he end up getting killed. She ain't gonna just be mad at the police. She gonna be mad at you too, even though she over there weeping for you. If he just controlled himself and then just went through with, like the brother said, who called in, praise God for that brother calling in, said he got locked up for some old bogus child support stuff. He said he got that taken care of, got out, got his money back. But he said his family was in the car with him, and his wife, he had to tell them, look, calm down. I'm good. I don't been to jail before. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's a happy ending. Versus somebody, same scenario. Aundrey been in this thing for a long time. Same scenario. The guy dead. Family bereaved. Same exact scenario. All because the guy couldn't control himself. But let's go to the last one, ministers. Let's go to Galatians 5. They get it.
But who them?
Galatians 5.
Galatians, okay. Galatians 5.
Because I want to hear from these people, boys. I'm telling you, boy, I'm loving this. I like it. I like the type of stuff that we can apply in our everyday lives. I like the deep spiritual stuff too. Don't get it wrong, but the deep stuff ain't gonna get you in the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Knowing when the days start, or knowing who Belshazzar that was. That's all nice to know. And I teach it, so I'm not against teaching the stuff. But this stuff we telling y'all tonight, this is gonna save your life and your afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And this is the type of stuff that a lot of people come on here and they don't want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We want to talk about frivolous stuff that ain't going to matter. I want y'all to walk away with something where when Sal makes the final announcement and he goes off the air, when you finish listening, you don't got something from us that you can apply in your life that's going to make your life more fulfilling as the servant of the Most High.
That's right.
That's what we want to do. I want to give y'all salvation and show y'all how to get salvation. You know what I'm saying? All this pointless different over stuff. I want to show you what I do and how I'm coming for your crown and I'm going to be the next champion. No, that's all good if that's what you want to do. But after you finish that, can you tell these people how to live?
Mm-hmm.
Can you show these people how to conduct themselves in a manner that may save their life one day?
Because the only crown we trying to get is the crown that the Mashiach going to give us at that day.
Exactly. And can't nobody take that from you.
Can't nobody take that from you.
You know what I'm saying? You after some old carnal crown. I'm coming for your crown, Josh. You can have it. I will hand it to you. Because that's not my real crown anyway. You can't take my real crown. This is Galatians chapter 5. We're going to read 22 and 23. Get back what Minister Aundrey been talking about all night. And then you can open them phones right back up, Sal. Galatians 5, 22 to 23. Go ahead, please.
But the fruits of the Ruach, or the fruits of the Spirit, is love, joy.
The first thing on the list. What's the first thing on the list? The fruit of the Spirit, or Ruach, is love. So what do most people say about the police? They what?
They hate them.
They hate the police. But the first thing on the list, and the fruit of the Ruach, or fruit of the Spirit, if you know the word fruit, it means result, produce. So this is proof that you have the Spirit, in other words. When it says fruit of the Spirit, that means proof of the Ruach.
Mm-hmm.
That means this is how you know somebody really got the Holy Spirit. This is what this means. When they say fruit of, y'all don't understand that fruit of means something you are producing. That's why fruit, when you go to the fruit section, what's the name of that section in the store when you go to the fruit section? Do you remember, Aundrey? Produce. And the word produce means something that's produced, that's put out.
And you know what, Josh? I just did a class on YouTube called The Fruits of the Spirit, the Essence of a True Believer, the Believer's Produce.
The believer's produce, because it's what you're producing. Mm-hmm. So if you claim that you have the Spirit, why aren't you producing love? Why every time I turn on YouTube, I hate the white man, I hate the police. All you saying is hate, 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 hate. You don't got the Spirit. It's not hard.
Of the flesh.
And that's a work of the flesh, which is in opposition to the fruit of the Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
First thing at the top of the list. The will people filled with hate. But keep reading. Let's see what else it is.
Joy.
Hold up, joy. That means you like I said, we having fun. Do we sound like we mad? I know I shout a lot, but I'm not mad. joy. We're rejoicing. Me and minister, we rejoicing. We happy about this. We happy to bring you this message. We ain't coming here under restraint. Father had to twist our please, Josh and Aundrey, please do this lesson. We came to him.
Did not the apostles? Did not they still show love to those centurions that put them in jail?
In fact, it says that they rejoiced when they were first put in jail.
Ooh, that they
had suffered for the name.
Yes.
See, people don't talk about stuff like that. See, that's joy. If I get harassed by the police for something that I didn't do, right? Then guess what? I'm going to be mad about that. I'm not going to lie. But I'm also rejoiced because I'm being persecuted for nothing.
That's right.
That's how the disciples did that. You know what I'm saying? What else we got here? What's the third thing?
Peace.
Hold on. What's the definition of sheriff?
Peace.
Somebody who upholds peace?
Peace.
Who maintains peace? So the very essence of the produce is found in the definition of what it means to be a sheriff. But you hear, but today we hear terms like police, sheriff, cop. Ugh, those are dirty words.
Did I not say, Josh, in the beginning, I am a certified peace officer?
Peace officer. Blessed are the peacemakers, the fruit of the Spirit, peace. To protect and serve, to uphold the peace. This is what sheriffs and police officers are supposed to be doing. So if you got some that are doing it, why do you hate all of them? I mean, we talk to debate talk for you audience. I tell y'all all the time, and I'm not just trying to butter y'all up. Y'all are not the average audience. Y'all are a little smarter than the average bear. You know what I'm saying? So y'all smart enough to know that you can't say everybody is something. I don't think anybody in the debate talk for you audience is that behind on intelligence. I don't think so. They'll even give you most of them like that. But I don't know nobody that stupid to be like, oh, everybody of a certain group are all the same way. Ain't nobody in the debate talk for you audience that stupid. Maybe some of these conscious groups and some of these racist black Hebrew groups, they think like that. But y'all a little bit more sophisticated than that. I know. And I can tell by what people say when they call in. And the only person that thinks like that, ironically, he don't believe the Bible. So he don't count anyway. I'm not counting him anyway. I'm not holding that against him. I'm not rooting for him. I'm just completely neutral on that if you don't believe in the Bible. If you don't believe in the Bible, your view is your view. I can't tell you wrong from a Bible standpoint of view if you don't believe the Bible. I got to meet you on your level. That's your view. If you want to view somebody like that, fine. But from a Bible perspective and a critical thinker perspective, we know it's not right to profile everybody based on something that some people are doing. We know that's not right. And the reason why we as black people know that more than anybody is because it's happened to us the longest.
Right.
We know what it feels like. So let's not turn around and do what they do. It told you in Proverbs. Let me throw that in here. I meant to put that in here. I think this is the one. Proverbs 10. Give me that right quick, Minister. We're going to come back to Galatians.
Okay.
Proverbs 10. If this is what I meant to go to. Oh, that ain't it. We'll go back. Finish Galatians, and I'll give you that.
Proverbs 4?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I went to the wrong one. I'm going to bring it up. I got to pull it up. But for right now,
okay.
Go back to Galatians and read that.
Peace. Long suffering.
Long suffering. Wait a minute. Y'all know what long suffering means? It means to suffer long or to allow something to happen for a while. It's associated with patience.
Mm-hmm.
Long suffering. That means you deal with stuff with patience. You ain't going to be like the second the police officer pull you over, you just lose your temper. That means you ain't got no patience.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that means. Continue, please.
Gentleness.
Gentleness? We're supposed to be gentle. We're not supposed to be harsh. When you have a gentle spirit, a gentle soul, as some people say, you're not supposed to be talking to police officers all belligerent like that for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Continue, please.
Goodness,
that's self-explanatory. Go ahead. Faith, verse 23.
Meekness,
humility. Mm-hmm. You're humble. Police pull you over, sir. May I see your license registration? It's in my back pocket, my wallet. May I go for my wallet? Yes, you can. I'm telling you what I do.
That's right.
Here's your license and registration. I got my hand on the steering wheel where you can see it at all times.
Right.
Sir, do you know why I pulled you over? I honestly do not know. Your tag light was out. I had an officer tell me that before. I had my tag light was out. He said it's illegal to drive around with a tag that cannot be illuminated at night. They got to be able to read the tag.
Right.
I told him, oh, okay, I didn't know, or whatever. Get it fixed. He told me to get it fixed. When the auto's on, got a little light, replaced the little bulb. End of that story. I could have been like, what you pulling me over for?
Mm-hmm.
What'd I do?
Man, you put me over for a little tag light. You ain't got nothing else to do.
Exactly. You put me up for a little tag light, and you got real criminals out there committing real crimes, and you ain't got nothing better to do than to look for somebody with a tag light missing. That's still the law. Even the Messiah said, you have forgot the weightier matters of the law. These you shall have done and not left the others undone. The Messiah never said just focus on the weightier matters of the law. He said you're supposed to do that, but don't leave the others undone either. So if a police officer want to pull you over for a tag obstruction, guess what? That's still the law. Don't try to make it seem like because he ain't out there chasing bank robbers, he don't need to worry about those little tags. You still breaking the law. Get your tag right.
And you are in violation.
And you are in violation of the law. But see, we always want to go on that offense. We want to come out swinging. No. You're supposed to be meek, especially when you in the wrong. Mm-hmm. Oh, officer, my tag? Remember all about? Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not even know. I'll get that fixed. Well, I'm going to have to write you a ticket anyway. Well, you're just doing your job. Go ahead. It could go either way. But at the end of the day, I ain't mad at him. He's doing his job.
Right.
What am I mad at somebody for doing their job for? Well, I think that's a petty law. Write a letter to your local mayor or governor and express to him why you think the law is stupid. But don't take it out on him. He don't make the law. He just enforce the law.
There you go.
There has been known to get laws changed. That has happened. But don't go fighting against him. I can't stand the police. Okay, whatever. But you still give me a ticket. Right? Read the last part.
Temperance.
Temperance. That's self-control, sisters and brothers.
Yep. Not flying
That's
off the handle.
Not flying off the handle. Not losing your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Temperance. That's how we're supposed to be. Because in a way, we are the police too. We're supposed to uphold moral standards. But now let's go to the last one if I add in at the last minute. Proverbs 3:31.
Proverbs 3:31. 3:31.
This is for everybody. The police, they oppressing us. Yes, at one time they did, and some of them still do. I'm not going to lie. There's some racist police officers out there that still oppress blacks, Hispanics. They still do that. But what are we supposed to do? This for my Tanakh onlys. Proverbs 3:31. Read that, please.
Envy not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Don't be jealous of the oppressor and choose none of his ways. They all saying the white man is the oppressor. The police is the oppressor. Don't be jealous of him, but don't choose any of his ways. That means if you think that all police officers profile black people, then don't envy him and start profiling all police officers. If you think all white people are prejudiced and hate black people, don't envy them and start being prejudiced against all white people. Because y'all don't want to tell them these are oppressors. If they are, why are you choosing their ways? I said this to all my black Hebrews, the ones that say they can't stand the white man, right? They all saying that, Aundrey, but guess what? They'll say he's the oppressor, but then they'll turn around and call each other the N-word. But let a white person say to you, oh, I'm mad. You racist. You the devil. But then you turn around and do it to other people. You have learned the oppressor's ways. So, Susan Burr, we have shown you that there is a smear campaign, a cop conspiracy smear campaign. And we have shown you the untold truth about the police. And the untold truth is that we are supposed to be the police. We're supposed to be the spiritual police. The untold truth is all police officers are not bad. The untold truth is the word police is not a bad word. It directly describes a servant of God as an individual and the children of Israel as a nation. Why in the world would a Hebrew Israelite have a problem with the word police when all of us supposed to be the police? And we got a legitimate, certified, dignified officer here that can vouch for everything from a legal standpoint. So at this point, if you got any questions about any conduct like Antoine said he wanted to hear, which we always said we were going to do, call in and tell you can open up the phone. I want to hear from the people on this. I want to hear. Go right ahead. I'm waiting.
All right, family. I know you guys enjoy this particular lesson, taking down your notes. Again, you know that number, 319-527-6239. As a matter of fact, I see we actually in the overtime part of the show. You know, I didn't want to interrupt the flow of things, but we still have a whole lot of callers checking out the show in the overtime portion. So if you have a question or comment, all you got to do is dial 1, and then we'll add you in the conversation. Again, y'all know the rules. There's no foul language. Got to keep it clean, keep it professional. Let's go to the first caller. Skype caller, you're live on air.
Shalom, I called in earlier. I think it's a blessing that I get to come back in again. I'm the guy that called in earlier speaking about how I had a run-in with the police about a bogus child support situation. Once again, y'all brothers holding it down. Appreciate it. I kind of wanted to address, I stayed on this whole time, honestly, to address the brother that called in talking about revolution. And I know we kind of chalked it off kind of to where he was an unbeliever or he not reading the Bible. But it's some people that are in these One West camps and that are believers that are kind of caught up in this doctrine or caught up in this thought process. And
that's right.
I kind of want to just address this, especially from a military standpoint, because I want y'all to understand something. Like I said, I was part of a real elite group, and I'm going to be honest with you, with the knowledge that these military people have, you take a dude like me, like I plan missions and all of this stuff. I don't got to work for the rest of my life because of the work that I did overseas. Some of it I'm proud of, some of it I'm not. I had to fight to get my mind back right, and it's because of the belief in the Torah and in the Brit Hadazah, right? So in the Tanakh and the New Testament, that I'm able to say now, you know, the Most High has put me in a position to be able to lead my family correctly. But I mean, that's a whole nother topic. But you give me and my brothers, who I call my veteran brothers, you give us 100 soldiers and 50 Humvees, and we can shut down your city tomorrow, right? That's how well trained this military, this European military is. So a revolution ain't going. What's that, Brother Josh?
I said, and I believe it. I believe every word you're saying because I've done some research on some stuff. I believe every word you're saying.
So let's just deal with Atlanta, right? Let's just deal with the metropolitan city of Atlanta. This city is set up to where it literally can be shut down within 15 to 20 minutes of a catastrophe. And there's some areas that can shut it down within 5 minutes. So this talk of revolution, and I'm from the West Coast, so cats thinking, oh, you can't do it in L.A. Yeah, they can do it in L.A. too. Because there are bases that you're not even aware of, right? There are, like they just dropped this Moab bomb. There are bombs and military weapons that you are not even aware of, right? When you see a drone or something that come out, that thing is 10 or 15 years in the making. So don't make them pull out something that's brand new. You know, like I said, you know, I was stationed at a real elite unit in North Carolina. And that's all I say. So this military is set up to be, if you really want a revolution, they want you to have a revolution. We in Georgia, and if you understand something called the Georgia Guidestones, this weird, mysterious thing that's there, it's talking about reducing the population. Right? There is a real effort to want to reduce the population. So you can holler about revolution if you want to, but there are not enough guns and not enough military might in our power right now as Israel to be able to fight that type of situation. You understand what I'm saying? So the thought process of wanting to go to war with somebody who's been warned for the last millennium, you're just not going to win. So with that said, I'll move on to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 13, 1 through 3 tells us basically our key. And it talks about when we come back to the Most High and when we come back to his commandments and to his truth and learning to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, then he'll turn our captivity. If your goal is to really be a revolutionary for the Most High in the way that he gave us. He set out how we can get out of our captivity. Now, yeah, there are some things that we got to do, and the first thing we got to do is learn to be in obeisance to authority, right? Meaning, like I said, I got arrested then, but since then I ain't had no run-ins with the police. My tags are straight, my license is straight, and I should point out it was a roadblock that happened, and my license was bad, right? So this is the only reason that they even ran to check and see if I had a warrant. And I didn't know I had a warrant, right? I'm thinking I'm all set. And like I said, everything worked out. I got my money back and everything. It was cool because it was bogus. But my license was expired. I should have had that taken care of. So I was in the wrong first off. But there are some brothers who have had situations where they're in the right and they still had to fight with the police. What I'm saying is revolution is not the answer. It's at least in the we're gonna pick up arms and fight. I've been in that situation, Afghanistan, Iraq, and a bunch of other places. Right, I got badges and medals for this stuff. My mom passed away stressing about the stuff that I did in the military. So I'm speaking from a position of what I know. Right, you're not ready to go to war with this beast. Like you said, these Hebrews in the past died fighting a fight that they couldn't fight. You can't fight this fight. They got paratroopers that are ready to jump out 20, 30,000 deep, and 10,000 of them know they're going to die. Right? But that other 20,000 know they can hit the ground and take over any airfield in the world. That's how elite our fighting forces are. So this revolution or whatever it is, that's not the answer. The answer is move to a point where we are so beyond reproach that they have no reason to mess with us. And then if they do decide it, now the world looks at it in a position of where they are in awe and they are appalled at them messing with a peaceful, righteous group of people that are keeping the law, statutes, and judgment, where we're looking out for the orphans, we're looking out for the widows, we're looking out for those that don't have fathers. That should be our mission. Our black brothers and sisters whose parents are who have abandoned them, right? I have cousins whose parents was on crack, and now we've taken upon ourselves to family-wise, we put together money to take care of these people. I'm not saying that to brag. What I'm saying is we have to really get out of this militant mindset that these, and I don't want to bang on the One West groups because they have helped a lot of us and realize that we are Israelites, right? But just because if you are Israel, if you truly are a member of Israel, then you know that your job is to be a light to the world and not a stumbling block. So, I waited just to say that. Once again, I applaud you, brothers. I wish that y'all really had time to go into the mind game that they plan on us. But revolution in terms of picking up firearms, and our family has firearms, but it ain't for the police. It's for these brothers that decide they want to come into our nice house that we work to put together and kick in our door. Like, that's what it's for, really, to protect ourselves from people that's coming from Zone 1 and Zone 3 that want to kick in people's doors.
Go talk to me.
You feel me? But in all sincerity, like the brother that called in who's not a believer, I know we kind of dismiss him, but there are people who are believers that still have that same mindset. Listen, bro, that's not the answer, right? I promise you, there are people that's sitting back waiting for that to happen. They have contingency plans, contingency plan.
Let me just say something too, brother, because you mentioned you mentioned that, like the population control, right?
Right.
And revolution would give them an excuse
to
control the population, because now they get to wipe out all these people who they think is overpopulating a specific area anyway. See, I'm with you, brother. I know what you're talking about. That's why I said don't give them an excuse. As for the people, like these people who are believers, the black Hebrews who talk like that, the government don't even take them seriously. They watching them, but they ain't taking them seriously. Them guys ain't bothering them. The only thing they gonna do is get you stirred up on an individual basis and get you in trouble. Because if these guys were really about that life, they wouldn't even be outside to tell you that. They'll be locked up somewhere already, or they'd be
100%.
But
let me say
they
this
ain't really about that life. You ain't gonna reel me up.
Let me say this just so you understand how real it is. When we go to another country, before we do anything, we have helicopters fly over, and we drop these pamphlets. And what those pamphlets do is they drop, I know people don't like this word, they drop propaganda, right? They drop different things. And they say all kind of stuff about the existing government. And then they come out and say, look, June 22nd, we're going to lock this place down. And if you outside after a certain time, you part of the enemy. And what I'm telling you is even though it may seem more sophisticated, that's exactly what we're experiencing through a lot of these false flags and a lot of this news that we're seeing. I'm not saying people not dying. I would never go as far as to say that. But when we see a lot of these things on YouTube and in the news, it's prepping you. It's getting you into a mindset where you forget about what the Most High has taught us and where you be so angry at the police and all these people where you ready to pick up a gun and to shoot whoever it is, when your whole purpose is to, A, defend your family, teach your family, and then look out for those of us that are believers that can't get out of the situation that they're in.
Merci, Aundrey.
Right, there are those.
Are you listening? Are you listening to this brother, man? He's dropping some jewels, man.
Oh yeah, I'm listening to you. Just put my little cream on. I'm listening.
Right.
So with that said, and I have brothers that are on the opposite side of the law, and then I have uncles and cousins that I have an actual cousin that's a DA in LA. So I understand what's going on in all of these places. I've been blessed to be all around the world and all around the country, and so from that perspective, I understand, and I understand it's angry. It makes you angry. It makes you want to fight. It makes you want to defend yourself. But the way that you fight and the way that you defend yourself is what the Most High has laid out. He laid it out from A to B, from Genesis to Revelation. And if you stop letting people play with your emotions and you really take the time to read this book from cover to front, and I'm not saying don't learn the Hebrew, right? I've been blessed to learn the Hebrew. But even if you read it from an English perspective, from A to B, with a proper spirit, instead of being so angry, you'll still be able to be blessed. The Most High will continue to enlighten you and show you the goal is not to fight. He gonna fight, and if he decides to make us his battering ram, like people like to say, then he'll do that. But more than anything, his goal is to make us his unblemished bride. Our goal is to become these righteous people that are the light to the world, that is showing people, yeah, you put us through hell, but now we finna raise ourselves up by taking care of ourselves, by getting these drugs out of the community, by getting this anger out of the community, by loving on our sisters and loving on our brothers, and getting away. You pull me over, my license is going to be straight, my insurance is going to be straight, my tag's going to be straight. I ain't got no reason to argue with you, and more than likely you're going to let me go. So, once again, I appreciate you, brothers, Minister DeAndre. I appreciate your service in these streets because I know it's not easy. Brother Josh, I know you done went through a lot out here in these streets, but I want y'all to know brothers are listening, and there are some of us that are waking up. And like Brother Josh say a lot, he's speaking to those that get it already and not those that are trying to fight it. Keep speaking to the elect because the elect still need instructions too.
Hey, one more thing, brother. What's your name? I didn't catch your name. What's your name, brother?
I'm just call me the anonymous Hebrew right now.
Okay, I roll. Hey, Andre, you can tell I roll with the nickname. I will label you the anonymous one.
What's up?
The anonymous.
I will definitely be. I'll be reaching out. I came on before and I talked to Brother Sal and like I think it was Sister Mona and all of that. And I'm going to keep reaching out. But what I'm doing right now is I'm gathering all of the people that think like us and that really want to do something, that don't want to be out in the forefront, right? There are a lot of us, we don't want no glory, but we want to help. And so what I'm trying to do is put stuff together where we can remain anonymous, but we can also help. So I appreciate all y'all that are out in the forefront that are helping. But I got babies, right? And I'm not trying to put my babies at risk and all of that stuff. And people call me a coward, whatever. Well, my guns still shoot straight. But on the flip side, I love my children, and I'm gonna support the brothers that are already putting themselves out there. And if the Most High put me in a position where I need to do that, then I will. But for right now, y'all keep doing what y'all doing, and there are brothers who got y'all and that are trying to put stuff together that will continue to support what y'all doing. All right?
I appreciate that. That's Mr. Aundrey, you got anything you want to add to that before we move on to the next person? Cause that brother just dropped some bombs. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to say I am very familiar with the Georgia storms he's talking about, where it's talking about the population being reduced to 500,000. It's actually it actually sounds like 2 Ten Commandment stones, and or a big stone like like the stone that Moses had, and it only has got on there like guidelines, and one of the guidelines we get like 1, 2, 3, like one of the guidelines is to drop the population down to 500,000. And people, we need to understand, like the brother said, when you read this word, when you ask for the spirit of truth to enter into your life, when you ask to be born, when you try to be born from above, because the only way you can produce the fruit of the Spirit is you have to be born of the Spirit, people.
That is correct.
That's the only way you can produce the fruit, because it's the attributes and characteristics of our Father, Heavenly Father. So for people to want to deal with the police in a negative way or in a way that's obstructing his or her duties as an officer, you are in error. You are sinning, because the word has told you and I how we're supposed to conduct ourselves. We done read it all night long. So if you're in violation, if you're a drug dealer, if you got a pass, and you still hanging in the same areas that you was hanging in, knowing good and well that hanging in that area, hanging around those people, is going to draw a negative light to you, that's your fault.
That's right.
That ain't officer's fault for stopping you and frisking you. It's your fault because you got yourself in that predicament. Stop playing the victim and start applying wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And with that, we can move on.
All right, for those that are, were joining the show like half the show or caught the end of the show, you can always check it out in the archives. Go to the iTunes podcast. Of course, we're on Blog Talk Radio. And, of course, you can check out the archives on the YouTube page. Untold Truth About the Police, Cop Conspiracy, Smear Campaign. All you got to do is press number 1 if you have a question or comment, and we'll add you to the conversation. Right now, people that's listening, so I can either add some more information or we can pretty much get some last words.
I just wanted to say, before we get off, if anybody, now, it's not going to happen all the time, so take advantage of the fact that you have a licensed, professional, highly advanced officer of the law on deck to answer any and all questions you may have, So don't get offline and you like, I'm good, and then you get into a situation like, man, I should have asked Mr. DeAndre that the other day. He would have knew. You know what I'm saying? So don't be shy. So until somebody press 1, I just want to say this, Sal. This has been one of the most fun shows I've ever been on. You know what I'm saying? Had fun with my brother Minister. Kind of take me back to that time, how we were tripping that time in the hospital that night. Boy, we just cutting up all night that night, just acting a fool. I know you remember, Aundrey. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just acting a fool, just having fun. The anonymous one, I appreciate him calling in tonight. I mean, the brother is dropping some real jewels of wisdom. He knows some stuff. He's like Aundrey. He ain't just talking from some YouTube video he watched and heard. No, this brother been around some stuff. The brother said he had to get his mind back right. I know exactly what he's talking about. I ain't going to put it out there, but I know exactly what he means because I don't talk to some vets before. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I know exactly what he's talking about, and this word got him back right. I know why he don't want to be on the forefront like that. It's not because he's scared. It's because he knows what he'll do if somebody approach him on that level, and he don't want to go there. Right. So I'm reading the brother loud and clear. You know what I'm saying? He don't even want to entertain that because it might trigger something, and this ain't no, because he about that life. And I tell people all the time, people who really about that life, they don't brag about it. They just be about it. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand the brother. I appreciate any help anybody give to me and Minister Aundrey, whether it's public or private. You know what I'm saying? We respect both. You know what I'm saying? So you feel that, Aundrey? Because it sounds like you went out.
Yeah, I'm listening. I just put it on mute while I wash my hands.
Oh, okay. I heard a lot of noise and it just cut off. You know, I'm listening through you, so, you know, I got to be careful. But I appreciate the other brothers that came out, and I also like the fact that the anonymous one pointed out that a lot of these Hebrews got that attitude, that militant attitude about overthrowing the government. But like I said, the government ain't worried about them. They ain't taking them seriously because none of them dudes ain't ever bust the grape. You know what I'm saying? But that rhetoric preaching will stir up feelings and emotions inside of the people who adhere to that stuff. And these people will go out belligerent and upset against the police and end up getting themselves in a situation. The conscious community does the same thing. They are so anti-police officer over there, they just hate the police. You know what I'm saying? And they got people belligerent and mad about the police. You know what I'm saying? We don't want y'all to get hurt. We care about y'all. This ain't about me and Minister DeAndre. It's about the Most High, his son, and y'all doing what y'all need to do to achieve salvation. We ain't on here to glorify ourselves. This man know the law. Aundrey know the law. He ain't got to shout at with y'all. He already know the law. But we putting this out here to get y'all right. That's why I reached out to him, and I was like, man, somebody need to say something about this because this is something I see what's going on. But I didn't want to bring nobody on here. Even the brother who didn't believe, you can see who he was mainly concerned with. He wanted to talk to the officer. So even though the brother didn't believe in the Bible, he still respected Aundrey's experience enough to just want to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even mad about that, but I'm going to still be Brother Josh and let you know, bro, you ain't finna do no hasty generalization on any show I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you got a question about the law, you ask Minister DeAndre, but you ain't finna come on here and profile every police officer and then be like they all evil. Not on my watch. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it. If ain't nobody else got no question, Aundrey, you got anything you want to, add before you get out?
Well, I just want to, because Antoine wanted me to kind of, well, we were going to do this anyway, and Antoine touched on it. Let me give you guys some pointers out there when you leave your house. Mm-hmm. We're going to do that before we depart tonight. When you leave your place of residence, if you are pulled over, stopped by the police officer, male or female, be sure that you have your business right. Make sure you don't have any drug paraphernalia on your person. Make sure you're not reaching up marijuana or alcohol, or you got an open container, you in the car riding dirty in whatever way that is with brothers that got paraphernalia on them, or you got paraphernalia on you, or you driving and weaving because you've been drinking at the Mexican restaurant or at the club, and you pulled over by the police, and they tell you, we pulled you over because you was weaving back there on Pryor Road in Atlanta, Georgia. And you talking about, I wasn't weaving, I just made it right. Yeah, you made it right. And you was weaving after you made that right. That's why I stopped you. It's called probable cause. I stopped you. Or your tail light wasn't right. Or your tag light wasn't right. But I asked the question earlier about the most dangerous cause officers are called to that they die in. Nobody has called in and answered that question. Well, I'm going to give the answer because I'm thinking about going to call in. That's the question. The two most dangerous calls that we are called to are traffic stops and domestic violence calls. These are the two most dangerous calls police are on. Why? Traffic stops. Because most traffic stops, your suspects, perpetrators, are wanted, they're wanted, or they have certain drug paraphernalia on them, on their person. And they ain't trying to go back to jail or go to jail. So you have more officers being killed from a routine traffic stop or a domestic violence call. Why domestic violence call? A lot of times domestic violence calls, a lot of times they set up when they call the officer, or when the officer comes trying to break the two up that's fighting each other, they turn on the officer and the officer get killed. These are facts. Do your research. When you leave your house, make sure your stuff is right. Officer tell you to show your hand, show your hand. If you ain't done nothing, okay, you ain't done nothing. This is not the time to get into a conversation with the officer about who right and who wrong. If he or she is wrong, you got a pen. If you know how to write, after you locked up or whatever you feel like your rights have been violated, make sure your rights have been violated. And if they have, then you go down to the Office of Professional Standards, you get you an attorney, and you deal with that situation. You can, if you have a lawsuit to get some money in your pocket. I'm not telling you to go out there looking to get no money in your pocket. I'm telling you if your rights are violated, then you can go and if your civil rights are violated, that's called money. And that officer also can be put in jail. They're doing the wrong thing to you. It's a time and a place for everything. Everything's supposed to be done, as the book said, decent and in order. If they're not doing it decent in order, you make sure you're doing it decent in order, because you're supposed to be the servant of the Most High. You're supposed to be the believer. That's why we gave these examples before. That's why we gave all these examples with the apostles and how they conducted themselves when they were thrown in jail. Even when Joseph was thrown in jail, he didn't act a fool. Way back then, the Messiah, when he was confronted, he was walking around the centurions all that time. Not one time did he have an issue with them people or condemn them people. Matter of fact, he said to centurion, he hadn't found no faith, no such, not in Israel. Oh, wow. But these so-called Israelites are the main ones always talking about, we the chosen, we this and we that. Oh, yeah, you also the one that crucified your Messiah.
That's right.
You the one that the book said he came into his own, and his own received him not.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who was always embracing him all the time? Gentile. This very one that you always talk about, the devil, which is a violation of the book tells you speak evil of no man. You see this, sister and brother? Know your right as a citizen. Make sure that you study the law. Stop being lazy. I didn't know that. Well, ignorance of the law is no excuse. No, you heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
How about coming to a stop sign? Did you not know a lot of times when people come to a stop sign, you think you done stopped, but you didn't. Your tire's still rolling, and then you keep going, and you get pulled over. Police are like, you done ran the stop sign. I did not stop. He said, no, your tires are still rolling. That's called a rolling stop. It's called a rolling. In other words, that means your car never stopped. It was still rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulled you over, or she pulled you over, and you ran the stop sign. And you fussing about, no, you did, no, I did, I stopped. Did you not know here the man or woman told you that was a rolling stop? In other words, that should raise your red flag. That rolling stop. Wait a minute, I don't know about that. No, I stopped my car. No, your tire was still rolling. Well, also, you can let me go. No, I don't have to let you go, because you just ran the stop sign. You just violated the law. But if you use some meekness, if you use some temperance,
mm-hmm.
if you got some love and some joy, when that officer come up on your tree, because we're trees, what is he plucking off your tree? Is he plucking off your tree hatred, strife? Is he plucking off works of the flesh, or is he going to pluck off your tree of fruits of the spirit? Maybe your conduct. He may ask you, ma'am, your disposition toward me was like no other. What church you go to? Oh, it can't happen. Oh, well, who you? What do you believe? Oh, it can't happen. I've been asked plenty of times. You're not like other officers. You always smile on your face. I told the lady one time. I said, ma'am, she said, you just every time I see you smiling, you ain't never got a frown on your face. You know why? Because I'm joyous. I got joy. I'm blessed to have a job. I'm alive. My kids were fine. My finances were fine. Even if that wasn't all fine, I still got breath in my nostrils to make it right. We got to understand, sisters and brothers, that this word that we read every day, it's time to stop reading it and start applying it.
That's right.
It's time to stop reading and quoting Scripture and start to applying the Scripture. Because that's what's going to get us in, the application of it. Be not hearers of the word only, but be ye what? Doers of the word. You go to jail, and you're falsely accused. But the Most High had you to go to jail because guess what? Somebody you had to meet in that jail cell, and you told them about the Most High and got them saved. That's why you were locked up. Oh, and you got your money back, and you were falsely accused, and you got a lawsuit. Look at all the blessings in that. But you complaining about you got pulled over because your tagline was right. And you don't see the big picture that the Most High is trying to put you into another position. But because you ain't got no faith and you don't believe in the word, you all out of bounds. See, sisters and brothers, this word is it's a lot that we have to start understanding about this word and the application of it and the obedience to it. I also ask you to show your hand. Show your hand. You got some in your pocket? I got some out. He tell you, she tell you, don't reach in your pocket. You trying to pull yourself. If they tell you don't reach in your pocket, don't reach in your pocket. That's called verbal command. Do not reach in your pocket. And you still trying to reach in your pocket. I got to get my cell phone out. And you pull the cell phone. It's a cell phone. You get the top of your head shot off. Now, I told you not to reach in your pocket. You still reaching because you got your cell phone because it's ringing. Are you serious? Now, I told you not to go in your pocket.
See, ain't going to the voicemail.
My phone ringing. I got to do not come out here. Or you come out and they see, and you start putting out. Now, I also don't know if that's a pistol or not. They told you it's called AOJ, ability, opportunity, jeopardy. The officer feel like you have the ability and the opportunity and their life is in jeopardy. Boom, boom, boom. 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. That's what I said. 2 to the chest, 1 to the head.
It ain't working.
And Josh has seen my target.
Oh, maybe just speak on that. We were talking one night, me and Mr. DeAndre. It was like months ago, right? And when you go down to the man trying to, even though he ain't an active officer, he ain't trying to get rusty in that shooting department because brother still got to protect his house.
Right.
But he said he took some pictures with his cell phone and sent me some screenshots of the accuracy. You know how they had a little piece of paper hanging up with the image on it, and the man's accuracy was in the high 90s. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And most of them bad boys he showed me were headshots. So, and what was the distance you said it was? I forgot the distance. From what distance was it?
From 25 all the way to the 3 yards. From the 25-yard line, that's 25 yards back from it, all the way as close as 3 yards.
And so that's a distance away with that high accuracy, meaning that if you come in this man's front door, because he ain't walking around trying to rampage, look for people to shoot. He ain't like that. But if you come in his front door and he at the top of the stairs, and I doubt from his front door to the top of his stairs is 25 yards. You know what I'm saying? The top part of your head gonna be gone. I'm just keeping it real with you. He showed me the accuracy. In fact, I plan on trying to go to the range with him one day and try to learn how to shoot because I don't got them skills. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to protect my family too. But this man, and this just means to DeAndre. And it's other people on the police force who probably shoot even better. You know what I'm saying? Most officers, don't they got to pass some type of accuracy test anyway? Do y'all got to pass like a test or whatever?
Yes, we all. In order for you to carry that weapon, We have to qualify twice a year, in the spring and in the fall. Everybody on the force has to qualify twice a year to carry that weapon.
So you got to go back. You got to go back every year twice.
Yeah, when you active, we have to go twice a year. In spring qualifications and in fall qualifications. For me, being retired, I have to just go once a year.
Mm-hmm. So even retired, you still have to go back.
Yeah, cause I still got my license. I still got my license to carry across state lines and stuff. So for me to continue to carry with my license across state lines, I have to qualify every year. And
when you say qualify, you mean shoot at a certain accuracy on the shoot test or whatever?
Yeah, you got to shoot at a certain accuracy, a certain score to qualify to carry a weapon.
So that means that we can safely assume, then, I'm just putting it out here, we can safely assume that if you see an active police officer, I mean uniform, SWAT car, all that, that this person know how to shoot because they got to pass the qualification test. He's been able to carry the gun in the first place, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
And you got guys in the hood thinking they finna win the shootout against the police.
First of all, most guys in the hood don't even know anything about sight, picture, and trigger alignment. See these types. You see this type. I'm telling y'all, sight, picture. What is sight, picture?
I don't know.
What about breathing technique? What about trigger squeeze? They don't know anything about all this. All they just know about getting the gun and boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
They just shoot. That's why a lot of times when criminals are shooting guns from distances, bullet rounds are everywhere, all over the place. Because they just shooting the gun. One hand, just shoot. Pow, pow, pow. That's no. No. If even right now, when I get pulled over by the police, I don't let the police know I'm off until they see my when they come up to my car. I got pulled over going to the hospital because I was in the HOV lane. I was in the car by myself. Mm-hmm. I was about late, so I said I'm gonna ride HOV lane today. So I got pulled over. We came to the car. You see a license registration. Gave him a license registration board. That gave him my wallet. He could see my badge, so he got it. Let me go. Why he let you go, Mr. Untold? Police. Hey, police let the police. Hey, he could have gave me a ticket. Like he can give you a ticket. But normally, when we get pulled over, sometimes, depending on who you are now, DUI, they'll lock you up. But because you know better. You're an officer, you enforcing the law, and you breaking the law, you driving DUI, you ought to go to jail.
Exactly.
But HOV lane, get out of this lane, man. Don't down to the hospital. But the point is, just because I was a police officer, I didn't say, man, I'm an officer too. No. You see your license registration. I gave it to him. He saw my badge and asked me for my badge. Then I gave it to him. I didn't even tell him I was an officer. But I've also got pulled over by Georgia State Patrol. He saw my badge and didn't care. Still gave me the ticket. Wow. And guess what? I had to pay the fine.
And that was the end of that, right? That was the end of that. And you were in the wrong, legally speaking, right?
I was going 80. I was on Spreadway going 80 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone.
Right.
So I'm letting y'all know. Yeah, I was on 75, going downtown Atlanta trying to beat the traffic. I'm going 80 miles an hour in my truck in a 65 mile an hour speed limit. Now you can only go, first of all, about 10 miles over the speed limit, roughly 10. So if the speed limit is 65, they'll give you 5 to 10 miles. So normally if it's 65, you can put 70, 72. Don't try to really put 75. Just about 72. 10, they can give you a ticket. So that's why I say if it's 65, stay within that 5 to 10 range. Don't hit the 10, and then you'll be okay. They give you that cushion. But anything over that, 80 and better, you're a super speeder almost.
And don't super speed. Let me ask you a question. Super speed. Don't they got like a special ticket they got? If I'm not mistaken,
yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And you speed, you doing 80. Another car went past you, he doing 82, but they pull you over. You ain't pull them over because they going 80 well, but you doing 80 though. He can't pull over number one person anyway at a time. One at a time. Now you worry about another one that got away, but you were doing 80 though. You doing 80 just like they doing 80. You telling them why they didn't get them. Both of y'all doing 80. You just happen to be the one that get caught this time. They might have been doing 85, but he caught you first.
You know what else too? You know what I've noticed too, Andre?
Mm-hmm.
In situations like that, when two people are both speeding and the police pull over one, I've noticed that the person that got away, he slows down.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
He gonna slow down because he don't know if there's another officer up the road ready to catch him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't did it before. I'm not gonna sit up here in front. I don't been speeding. I'm not a fast driver. I don't got nothing on my record, y'all. I mean, zero. I've been square from day one. I came out the womb square. They had to shake me round. I'm a square. I ain't gonna front. I ain't never been no gangster. I grew up in the hood, but I wasn't part of the hood. But I'm not gonna lie. I don't been speeding before, not crazy speeding, but speeding. And I seen the police pull somebody over. They made me and everybody else going at a similar speed as me slow down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think I can say this, man, because I don't think we got nobody else on the switchboard. I guess we're going to get ready to close it out. I appreciate everybody listening in. Andre, appreciate all your expertise and advice. We will be doing some more stuff together, y'all. This ain't the last time y'all going to see me and Minister Untold do a joint venture, most high willing, of course, because we don't know what tomorrow may bring. You know what I'm saying? But the plan is we plan on doing stuff. So, Sal, if there's nothing else, we go and close the bad boy out.
I could not believe people that call in want to know, ask no questions. I can't believe it. But I guess then again, maybe they got it.
That tends to happen, Andre. You know, people, sometimes you have a question. I've had people tell me that before, like, I was going to call in because I had a question, but you answered it before I had a chance to get on the switchboard. So, you know, that happens. But, you know, I just hope that we were able to edify some people and let people know that we don't supposed to be profiling nobody, not the police, not any race of people. We don't supposed to be doing that. We supposed to be servants of the Most High. We trying to get you into the kingdom. We ain't trying to glorify ourselves. So that's all I have to say.
Let me say one more thing before we go. I'm going to give y'all some homework. Find out what probable cause means. Find out what reasonable suspicion means. Find out what reasonable articulable suspicion means. Okay, probable cause, reasonable suspicion, reasonable articulable suspicion. Find out what use of force is. Okay, find out about a force continuum, meaning the police use of force continuum, meaning first and foremost officer presence. 2, verbal command. I'm gonna give you the whole thing because I want y'all to. The last is deadly force. That's the highest on the force continuum is deadly force. And the officer is supposed to use the force necessary to bring a subject under control. Hear what I said. Officer is supposed to use the necessary force to bring a subject under control. The necessary force. In other words, whatever level of force they showing towards you, you go a step higher.
I got a quick question on social media. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I got a quick question on social media. And we only have like about 9 minutes left in the air anyway. But I got a quick question that says, being a minister, how does it feel to use a gun? And have you ever like killed someone with that gun? And how does it feel to use your gun? That's what it says. It's crazy. That's the question.
I do that. Hey, Sal, let me just say something right quick to Andre. I was wondering if somebody was going to ask you that, bro. Dead serious. I was wondering that, but go ahead.
No, I have never had to shoot anybody. No. Thank the Most High, I never had to shoot nobody. But for me, and I never wanted to. I never wanted to be in that position where I even had to draw my weapon. I ain't never even had to draw my weapon on nobody. I've had to have my hand on my weapon in a threat to draw my weapon, but I've never had to draw my weapon on nobody. If I had to use my weapon, then I would have no issue with it. But being that because the book tells you it's a time to kill, and it's a time to laugh, a time to cry, it's a season of everything. So if I had to take somebody's life because my life or a third party's life was in jeopardy, then I would have had no issue with that. Of course, when any time use of force is made, then you are put on administrative leave with pay. You know, because I don't want to kill nobody at all. But if I have to, better you than me.
Top of the head. Top of the head.
Yeah, and I got another quick one. I got another quick question. We only got a few minutes in the air. It says, we live in an area that promote gangster music, talking about F the police. Almost everyone in my hood learned the no snitch rule. How do we go about reprogramming the children that live in these poor neighborhoods? That's the question.
Well, first of all,
let me take that one too a little bit, Andre. I got a little quick thing. Me and Andre, we actually gonna get together and we're gonna do a class on what the Bible actually says. I was gonna get with you later on this, by the way, Andre, but since it's kind of related to it, the whole stigma about snitching. You know what I'm saying? And what the Bible says about that, because the Bible, believe it or not, tell us we're supposed to be snitches. But, you know, we're going to do a class on it. But go ahead, Andre. I just want to throw that out there right quick.
I was just about to say, your mama, your daddy, well, a lot of us didn't grow up without daddy, but if you did, your mama told you as a kid, I always tell the truth, don't lie. Tell the truth, you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you got to tell on somebody in the neighborhood that's going around stealing and killing, why would you not assist the police in getting that particular individual off the street?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not? Unless they're your friend. Now, if they're your friend and you call yourself a Bible believer, that means you are strengthening the hand of an evildoer. Mm-hmm. That means you strengthening the hand of an evildoer.
A lot of people, though, they fear that reprisal from the person that they snitching on. You know what I'm saying? Like, they fear that the person will find out and come after them. And I can understand in a situation like that where you might be more inclined to keep your mouth shut because, you know, the police ain't going to come and be your personal bodyguard and protect you from the person. But if you're afraid of that, if you snitching is more safe than you being quiet, then you need to snitch. Like you mentioned the guy stealing, Andre. You said stealing and robbing people, right? You know, you might be like, well, it ain't happening to me. That's his business. And plus, that dude crazy. He got a reputation for going after people that snitch on him. Then we can understand. I'm not going to tell you to do something, and I can't protect you from what's going to happen if you do it. You know what I'm saying? But if that dude off the chain and, you know, you weighing your options, if I stay quiet, he going to be murdering people, you know, or if I talk, you know, I might die even if I don't say nothing because that dude get crazy like that. So, and don't, this is a question I got for you, Andre, before we get out, because I know we're about to cut off. Can't you place an anonymous tip to the police?
Exactly. I was just about to say that. You that's a way to go and give your lead to the police.
They didn't got to know you did it.
They got to know you
the
did
person.
it. And let me say this too. Just like in the police force, if there's a fellow officer that we know doing some shade on the force, and we know about it, and that thing go before the Office of Professional Standards and investigators, they find out about it and find out that you knew about it, you gonna get fired with that person. Because guess what? As an officer of the law, you got a standard of the whole, and that is even telling that person, you know about it and you didn't turn this person in, you fired with them.
Guilty by association.
Yeah, there you go.
See, and I hate that people start asking questions so late in the game. Go ahead.
Yeah, right? Yeah, we only got like a minute left, man, if you want to ask questions now. But I guess we got to do a part 2, and we got to pretty much wrap it up. Once again, we appreciate the people out there listening to the show. See you guys next time. Take care, and God bless.
2017, Big Truth, the big talk for you. What up? Shout out Avo King, Big Boo, me. Shout out everybody. Check it. Hey yo, debate talk 4. You so you can absorb information free of charge so you can afford. Get poppin', live off the greatest doctrine. Sip the juice, know the ledge like the great Rakim. On a mission, not a small time thing. Defense biblical, offense got the haters watching. Hands are skill, footwork is ill. Get in the den, see if you can stand for real. If you rep Kim and Cool, yo I rep Israel. If you Torah based only or new as well, welcome to listen. Style always fair decision.